Line one. Okay, that's two. Getting a job doesn't have to be a time sink, at least not at Northview Retirement Community. They work with me to create a schedule that works for me and is extremely flexible with time off. Not only are they flexible, but the work is beyond rewarding, knowing that I'm making the difference in our residents' lives. If you want to learn more about this fantastic place to work, check us out at northviewretirement.org. Northview Retirement Community. Innovation, choice, tradition.
It's Saturday morning and the sun is shining. The familiar faces of local business owners greet you with warm smiles. You just unlocked the secret to a happier and more vibrant community, shopping local. Hi, I'm Kirk from Merchants Bank. When you shop local, especially during the holidays, you're not just buying products, you're investing in your community. Merchants Bank believes in supporting local businesses too. When you bank with us, you help put money back into the local economy, creating a thriving community for everyone. Thanks for supporting local.
Gentlemen, welcome to the St. Olaf Ice Arena. A little bit different today. We're on the St. Olaf Ice Arena here in St. Olaf College, and normally we're over at the old Pepsi Center over there, but today is a special event. It's just kind of something that the Hockey Association kind of puts on a couple times a year, and next week we'll have the girls in here, and that'll be a contest against Albert Lea, and they are, of course, the Raiders taking on Albert Lea, the Tigers of Albert Lea. Albert Lea being 2-1-1. They tied against Mankato West just the other night. Raiders coming into today's contest with a 4-1 record with a decisive victory over Austin, 11-1 on Thursday night. Gordon Moore, my play-by-play host, is here with me. And Gordon, I think we talked before the game even started. I think we got a good contest here.
Yeah, this will be a good one, Jimmy. The Albert Lea Tigers, I think, preseason were considered to be a top 4 team in the section. Northfield, I think, was the consensus number 1 choice, but the Albert Lea is in that discussion. This is not a game the Raiders can overlook, frankly. And yeah, we're lucky to be here at the St. Olaf College Ice Arena. This is really a wonderful Division III facility, and gives kind of a sense of what possibilities are out there for ice arenas.
So I did talk to Coach Mike Luckcraft earlier this morning, and I know we talked about this ice arena. It's pretty much the same size. It's 5 feet wider, and I don't know if that's going to make a difference as far as people coming through the crease or through the neutral zone and collecting some speed. But lengthwise, it is the same length as the ice arena over there at Northfield. But here it is, again, a little bit wider. I don't know what that effect will be. Mike didn't seem to think that there would be any effect.
Could open up the game a little bit, depending on which team's forwards are a little faster. I think this will be a good scrap. Albert Lee's going to come in here wanting to establish some momentum against Northfield. Northfield needs to just keep doing what they've been doing the last few games, taking care of business.
So it is without a doubt. So Jake Geiger kind of leads the scoring for the Northfield Raiders. He's got 16 points on the season. Cam Kaiser right behind him with 13, and then Caden Munson with, I believe, 11. And that's that top line. That's expected. I mean, those guys just step up, do their thing, and they just keep making plays, and that's what they got to keep doing today. I think it's going to be physical. I think that Albert Lea is probably one of the more highly rated Big Nine contenders, and like I said, they were 19-7 last year. I think they beat the Raiders last year by a 1 point as well. So I don't think they're taking it lightly at all.
Absolutely not. Albert Lee's got a good program. They've got a history of competition, physical competition, and I agree with you. I think this will be a physical game. Frankly, it's probably the way the Albert Lea Tigers stay with Northfield is to play physically, and so for Northfield it'll be the usual, avoiding the penalties, avoiding the retaliation, and just focusing on playing their game. And I think if they do that, they'll be just fine.
Well, again, like I said, we are here at the St. Olaf Ice Arena. There's plenty of room if you want to come out and join us. We are broadcasting live on NorthfieldLive.com, and for those that are tuning in right now, you're seeing obviously the warm-ups and the pregame going on here today. Again, the Northfield Raiders taking on the Tigers of Albert Lea. That will be coming up. Puck drop should be going right about 12 o'clock high. That's what our hope is anyhow. So hopefully we'll be coming to you here in about 20 minutes or so, and we'll have the warm-ups for this afternoon's contest. So with that said, we'll take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our visiting coaches and along with Mike Luckcraft on our coaches' interviews. So stick around. You're watching Raider Hockey on KYMN 95.1, The One, and streaming live on NorthfieldLive.com.
Saturday morning and the sun is shining. The familiar faces of local business owners greet you with warm smiles. You just unlocked the secret to a happier and more vibrant community, shopping local. Hi, I'm Kirk from Merchants Bank. When you shop local, especially during the holidays, you're not just buying products, you're investing in your community. Merchants Bank believes in supporting local businesses too. When you bank with us, you help put money back into the local economy, creating a thriving community for everyone. Thanks for supporting local.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie, Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center. Do you have HSA dollars that you're looking at wondering, hey, what can I use these on? Did you know you can use HSA, HRA, and other health savings accounts to pay for your LASIK procedure? In addition, if you have a Flex account, you can set aside money in your Flex account for next year to use towards LASIK.
Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center, Faribault. World-class LASIK, small-town traffic. RitchieEyeClinic.com.
Heritage Dental Care in Northfield is a general dental clinic specializing in a variety of dental procedures and services. New patients and emergencies are welcomed 5 days a week. Heritage Dental Care is a proud supporter of Northfield Athletics and wish all of our athletes the best of luck this season. Make an appointment today with Dr. David Bress, Dr. David Buck, or Dr. Michael Thompson. Go Raiders!
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call the professionals at Service Master by Ayat. Service Master has been an industry leader for more than 20 years and have proven cleaning products to remove even the toughest stains and get the winter weather out of your carpets and floors. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. When you're in need of cleaning, demand the yellow van and call Service Master by Ayat today.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
Start your morning with the KYMN Morning Show. This is Jeff Johnson. Join me each weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. when I talk with local people making news. Rich Larson has the area's most comprehensive and up-to-date newscasts. Weather specialist Bob Matheson will have your forecast. And Tim McNiff joins us for news with a side of sports. Find out what's happening in your community by listening to 95.1 FM, AM 1080, or online at kymnradio.net. KYMN 95 the 1.
Starting the home building process is challenging and it can be overwhelming at times. That's why Schmidt Homes has a plethora of 1 to 2 story floor plans to help you get started. Their vast options feature a wide range of square footage, design styles, bedroom, and bathroom count. Their dedicated team will work with you every step of the way to turn your dream home into a reality. When you're ready to start your next project, be sure to check out Schmidt Homes' beautiful and regularly updated showroom for inspiration. Don't wait to start building your dream home. Learn more at schmidthomes.com.
What if you could choose to make a positive difference in the lives of others just by where you choose to bank? When you bank with Hometown Credit Union, you are participating in a not-for-profit cooperative. We proudly reinvest into our communities through free financial education to people of all ages. We believe people can make better money decisions when equipped with the financial knowledge they need. Learn more about how you can join Hometown to make a difference and support our financial education outreach at www.hometowncu.coop.
And welcome back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena for those on NorthfieldLive.com. Welcome. And, of course, welcome to all our listeners at 95.1 to 1 and AM 1080 KYMN. Gordon Moore along with Jimmy LaRue with you. Joey Hudson on production. We got Howie Reister and Lance Reister here joining us this afternoon. Yes, it is a matinee contest today at 12 o'clock as the Northfield Raiders 4-1 take on the 2-1-1 Tigers from Albert Lee. We were able to catch up to some of our coaches this morning, and this morning's coaches' interviews are brought to you by none other than Hometown Credit Union, serving 26 counties in southern Minnesota. They have 2 locations in Owatonna, 1 in Faribault, and 1 location in Northfield. Thank you to Hometown Credit Union. We were able to catch up to Matt Erickson, the head coach of the Tigers of Albert Lee. He talks about his youth and some of his experience and their start to the season. third-year head coach for Albert Lea, joins us here this afternoon before we get started on the game. And Matt, you had a few guys leave from last year, 7 seniors, but you have a lot of returning. You were 19-7 on the season last year. You had a pretty good season, and now you brought a lot of those guys back. And you've started out this season now. You're 2 wins, 1 loss, and a tie against Mankato West. What do you like? What are you seeing this year that you like about your team?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, our team, we lost a lot of good players last year. We do have a good core returning players coming back, a lot of underclassmen for that matter. Our goaltender has been solid. Junior Ledger Stadheim's been really good for us to start the year. I think Eli Ferris, one of our team captains, has had a pretty good start. Junior forward Connor Persig's had a good start. So we've got some good pieces to the puzzle. But that being said, too, we're young in some areas, and we're looking forward to the test on Saturday here.
So I see that, you got a younger guy, Jacob Kolker, I believe, and Zayden Brua. They seem to get on the scoreboard. They've been contributing as well.
Yeah, you know what? I've been extremely happy with those 2 individuals. Jacobs, plays. He's a heavy center. Been really good defensively for us. And Zayden Brua is another sophomore kid that's came in and filled some big shoes with some guys that have left. He's a skilled player, really hard to play against defensively, runs our power play up top. So, really happy with those guys. Also happy with a couple of our junior players. Sam Stay has been really good forward for us. Brian Johnson on the back end has been good. So, yeah, I mean, Jimmy, we're young at the same point, but I think, towards the end of the year, and hopefully our schedule can put us in a good spot. So we're playing our best hockey here in a couple months.
Well, you're not unfamiliar with Northfield, obviously. You play them each and every year, and you've played them over the past 3 seasons and whatnot. They've got a lot of returning seniors as well. They're very heavy veteran-led, and they are, I think they're 4-1 on the season thus far, and they've the toughest opponent, I believe, is probably Orono, and they did lose to Orono. But what do you know outside of that? Do you get a chance to really see some tape? How much scouting do you actually put into when you go into a contest?
Well, I tell you what, Jimmy, I probably scout more than my wife would like me to. But a lot of tape. I mean, I'm familiar with the Kaisers, the Geigers. Obviously, it sounds like the Frank kids hurt, the Munsons. I mean, you watch tape for years with these guys. You know what you're going to get. Obviously, we know. And I'm part of the high performance, Minnesota high performance program. So I've seen these guys play a lot of hockey. And, anytime, now when Northfield gets brought up within the coaches within Section 1 or even the Big 9 for that matter, you bring up these guys and you better be ready to play. So, that's our mindset coming in is we know we're going to get the best team or one of the best teams in Section 1 on Saturday. And, we're ready for the challenge.
So based on your team from last year versus this year and what you've seen through your first 5 games or so, what do you feel is something you'd like to see go on this afternoon and help you to become successful against Northfield?
Well, I think our D zone's got to be, magnificent on Saturday. I think it's one of those things where when you have the size and the speed and the skill making ability that the Raiders have, you better be sound defensively or it's going to be a long night. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing how we're going to adjust to that. And obviously, I think our forecheck's been pretty good this year, so we'll see how that matchup goes as far as our high end guys against Northfield's high end guys. So there's one of those things that us coaches, I mean, I'm sure, Lucky's got to see that against Orono is how you match up against some of these other teams and where your barometer is. And, that's going to be one of those things on Saturday that we're going to look forward to seeing where we're at.
Awesome. Well, Matt Erickson, head coach of Albert Lea, thanks for joining us this morning on the pregame. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
Well, you kind of heard them. So their D-line, they know who they're up against Northfield Raiders. So he talked about his good forechecking. So that means physicality.
Yes, it does. That's the key for Albert Lea tonight. Contain Geiger, try to contain Munson and Kaiser, and hope you're very talented first line. Albert Lee's got a nice first line, can hang in the game. And, physicality can be a difference. We saw it in the Orono game. The first period, Northfield did a very nice job of responding to it and scoring early and, frankly, frustrating a really good Orono team. But as the game wore on, you could sort of see the toll that took. I look for that tonight. I think this will be a competitive game, and as you said earlier, there's a lot of empty seats out here. It'd be nice to see the ice arena here fill up for this, because this is a really nice place for a high school hockey game.
It is indeed. So we're at the St. Olaf Ice Arena. So anybody who wants to come on out, yes, there's plenty of room. And it's a nice facility. Got to tell you to maybe bring your own water or something, because the concession stands are not open.
It doesn't look like there are concession options.
So I don't get any my popcorn this week. So if my call is bad, that's the reason.
Right.
I'm going to blame it on that. Right?
Well, you won't have a mouthful of popcorn like the Orono game. You got surprised on that.
Surprised that came back from it. Yes. So anyhow, Matt Erickson is the coach of the Albert Lea Tigers. And when we come back, I think we'll talk to Mike Lovecraft and get his view. Coming up here on KYMN and NorthfieldLive.com.
If you could choose to make a positive difference in the lives of others just by where you choose to bank. When you bank with Hometown Credit Union, you are participating in a not-for-profit cooperative. We proudly reinvest into our communities through free financial education to people of all ages. We believe people can make better money decisions when equipped with the financial knowledge they need. Learn more about how you can join Hometown to make a difference and support our financial education outreach at www.hometowncu.coop.
And thank you so much to the Hometown Credit Union for bringing us the coaches' interviews today. I did talk to Mike Lovecraft earlier this morning as well. He's no dummy. He knows what he's up against too. Let's see what Mike has to say about today's contest. And we are joined this morning, and I say this morning because we have a matinee hockey contest today between Albert Lea and the Northfield Raiders. Mike Lovecraft joins us this morning. Mike, good morning. A matinee game, a little bit different in the daylight. How are the boys prepared for today?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it's I love the afternoon hockey. Gives you kind of the day to do get up and get focused and get ready to play. That's kind of fun. And yeah, we're ready to go.
A little extra bonus treat today. You get to play at the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Have you had the opportunity to skate up there?
We don't. It's kind of a once-a-year type thing for us. There's not a ton of opportunity for us to skate up there, so it should be fun today. It's a unique arena, kind of a college atmosphere. Nice facility, nice sheet of ice, so it should be fun.
Is the ice a different size than the normal ice arena you skate on?
Just slightly. The rink at Northfield is just slightly narrower. Should be 200 by 85. I think Northfield's like 200 by 80, so it's just a little bit narrow. But St. Olaf is a traditional NHL 200 by 85.
Well, you take on Albert Lea today, and they were 19-7 last year, had a pretty good squad. A lot of their squad is returning again this year. They definitely know who Northfield is. What do you expect against Albert Lea today?
Oh, it'll be a great test. They're a quality team. Always a good rivalry between Northfield and Albert Lea. I know they're off to a good start again. A lot of guys that can get up and down the ice. So good opportunity for both teams to kind of see where they're at 5-6 games into the season.
Well, you guys are 4-1 on the season, and losing that only one to Orono 4-1. Just about 10 days or so ago. And then you had a nice bounce back against Rochester, and then Austin was a decisive victory, 11-1. What'd you like about that game that you can bring into today's game?
It gave us a chance to play, some additional players. Austin's a growing program, still have a little bit of a ways to go to get to where they want to. Top teams, and so those are good. We're trying to get our young guys acclimated to high school hockey, get them to kind of learn our systems. In a game like that, you're able to get those players a little additional ice time, kind of do a few things that you're trying to do, just to ingrain those things into our systems and get our new players on board with that.
What did they need to do today to improve upon?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the continual story. Stay out of the penalty box, play physical, but play smart physical. Puck's got to move well coming out of our defensive zone so that we get opportunity.
All right, Coach. Well, I wish you the best of luck today. Good luck against Albert Lee.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mike Luckroft, head coach of the Northfield Raiders. Yeah, so, I had a little break up there a little bit, but okay, same old. I mean, he says it all the time. Stay out of the box, be aggressive, play good D, and, keep the pressure on. It's kind of cliche to say, but it's the reality is that's what you got to do.
Right. I mean, you've got to play the game within the system that has got you where you are. You've got to play with the structure that you want to bring to the game. You don't react to your opponents. And he mentioned that Albert Lee is a rivalry game. I'm sure this date is circled on Albert Lee's calendar as an opportunity for them to see where they stand. Albert Lee's played a relatively strong schedule to this point. They got a nice win over Rochester Lure. They beat Mount Westonka, lost to Waconia by a goal, and tied to Mankato West. So they've been in every hockey game they've played this year. And so I think the first period will tell us something right away from the jump as to, whether or not Albert Lee's going to be able to keep up with some of the speed that Northfield has. And, whether that physicality that we're sort of anticipating shows itself. But I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, and I think, the big thing is this is a Big Nine conference matchup. So this will kind of put a gauge out there as to where the program is.
Absolutely.
In all reality, I think, if Northfield comes out and dominates this game, you can kind of say, okay, well, you are probably the cream of the crop again. Or,
Correct.
It could be the complete opposite, and Albert Lee could shock them.
Right, and this also tells us a little something about, Section 1A and where the pecking order is. I think generally these two teams are considered to be in the top 4 of the section, along with probably Dodge County and, maybe that upstarts from La Crescent that have really got a nice team this year. So we'll see. It's early, but it's a little bit of a preview, like you said, both Big Nine and section for down the road here. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it'll be a good game.
Well, I want to thank both of our coaches for joining us for this morning's pregame, brought to you by Hometown Credit Union. Is a not-for-profit cooperative owned by its members. So we'll take a quick break. Hopefully we'll come back in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that. And when we get back, we'll have the introduction of the players, along with the national anthem and the start of our contest. Hopefully will be taking place around noon or just shortly thereafter. You're watching Raider Hockey on NorthfieldLive.com and streaming on 95.1 The One, AM 1080, and KYMNradio.net.
Community Resource Bank. You can bank from anywhere, anytime you want. The CRB mobile banking app makes it easy to keep track of your balances, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, and deposit checks any time of day or night. With branches in Northfield, Cannon Falls, and Roseville, we can offer solutions for businesses, residential, and investment accounts. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
This is Barb from Professional Dental Group, letting you know that the doctors and staff of Professional Dental Group are proud to call themselves Northfield Raiders sports fans. Whether scheduling for an implant, mouthguard, or general visit, we look forward to providing you with the same exceptional care that Professional Dental Group has delivered for over 45 years. So on behalf of Dr. Becky Johnson, Dr. John Nowak, Dr. Brian Cravey, Dr. Tyler Yonke, and Dr. Mallory Peterson, go Raiders!
Don't let dry eye symptoms continue to get in the way of enjoying what your world has to offer. Although dry eye can be hard to treat and difficult to manage with over-the-counter eye drops, you're not out of options. River Valley Eye Professionals is very pleased to offer the OptiLight Intense Pulse Light Treatment, the first and only FDA-approved light-based treatment for dry eye. We're the only facility in the area with this technology and expertise to perform this amazing treatment. Find out more at rvep.com. River Valley Eye Professionals. Don't miss seeing your world.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
Northfield is a unique town with passionate people. So much passion that it can be hard to keep up. That's why, if you're into art, local politics, sports, or anything else, Northfield Public Broadcasting is here to serve you. NPB is a free public access local television station that accepts submissions on anything you care about. NPB is a place to hear community voices and to share your own voice. Check it out.
Saturday morning and the sun is shining. The familiar faces of local business owners greet you with warm smiles. You've just unlocked the secret to a happier and more vibrant community, shopping local. Hi, I'm Kirk from Merchants Bank. When you shop local, especially during the holidays, you're not just buying products, you're investing in your community. Merchants Bank believes in supporting local businesses too. When you bank with us, you help put money back into the local economy, creating a thriving community for everyone. Thanks for supporting local.
The Quarterback Club of Northfield knows just how hard the student-athletes work each and every sports season and would like to wish all of the Raiders athletic teams the best of luck this year. After practice is over or before the big game, stop into the Quarterback Club and grab their roasted chicken, tender baby back ribs, or famous broiled burgers. Short on time? Call ahead and they will have it ready for you to carry out. They serve lunch and dinner, so no matter your busy schedule, the Quarterback Club has something for you. Good luck, Raiders, and we'll see you after the game. The Quarterback Club, off Highway 3 in Northfield.
Northfield Insurance offers more than just home and auto. They offer business insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and bonds as well. They have a combined 147 years of experience across 6 employees to make sure that you are getting the best possible insurance for your exact needs. Not only will they protect what's yours, they'll make sure that you're cared for like family. Find out how you can get the right insurance for you at nfldins.com or by calling 507-645-8861. Northfield Insurance Agency. They've got you covered.
Valley Auto House is a full automotive repair, shop, collision center, and the only AAA authorized towing facility in Northfield. That means if you are in a minor or a major collision this winter, or if a deer happens to find your vehicle, Valley Auto House can handle it all. We work with all major insurance companies to handle your vehicle, from the tow to completing all of your vehicle's repairs. Valley Auto House is located at Highway 3 South in Northfield, open at 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, or you can find us at valleyautohouse.net.
Displaying and practicing positive.
Welcome back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Both teams are entering the ice right now, and the Northfield Raiders just taking to the ice here. We're just about ready to get going here. Gordon Moore along with Jimmy LaRue on the call this afternoon as the Albert Lee Tigers take on your Northfield Raiders here this afternoon. We will just have our introduction to the starting lineup. Our starting lineup is brought to us by Ritchie Eye Clinic. Find out if you are a good candidate for LASIK at RitchieEyeClinic.com. That's RitchieEyeClinic.com. So we're just about ready to get things started here, Gordon. We'll have the introductions to both the teams here in just about 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, here at the home of the Olies, St. Olaf Ice Arena, built a few years ago. Lovely facility for hockey.
We're starting to see a few people pack in here now, so that's good. We're getting a nice, decent crowd. So with that said, I think we'll turn it over to the scorer's table.
Starting lineup for this afternoon's contest. First for the Tigers. On defense, number 4, sophomore Zayden Brua. The other defenseman, number 6, junior Bryant Johnston. Right wing, number 14, senior Logan Olsen. Left wing, number 9, junior Connor Piercing. At center, number 11, senior Eli Ferris. And in goal, number 30, junior Ledger Stanheim. The head coach for the Tigers is Matt Erickson. Assistants are Justin Affinson and Blake Adams. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Northfield Raiders. In goal, number 1, junior Max Frank. On defense, number 2, freshman Ben Geiger. The other defenseman, number 4, sophomore Bridger Riley. Right wing, number 12, senior Camden Kaiser. Left wing, number 20, senior Caden Monson. And at center, number 11, senior Jacob Geiger. The head coach for the Raiders is Mike Luckcraft. The assistant coaches are Scott Cloud and Charlie Cloud. Will you please stand, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
And National Anthem is brought to you by Ritchie Eye Clinic. If you are interested in improving your vision, scheduling a free consultation at Ritchie Eye Clinic is a great first step. RitchieEyeClinic.com. Well, I think we're in for a good one here. Let's see what happens coming out of the chute here as the Raiders, like I said, will take on Albert Lee and the Tigers.
Yeah, Coach is starting Max Frank in goal tonight.
I found that interesting.
They've been alternating 2 games for each the 2 goalies. I think that's very wise. You know, get both kids in early season. I mean, junior, senior, you got some leadership there, and you know, you at some point in the season, you're going to rely on that so-called backup goalie, and it doesn't really seem like they've really established who that is.
He's 1-2. You know, so
yeah.
They're 4-1, and so Shimoda's got, I think, a 2-1, and then Max has got a 2-0 record. So we've got some depth in goal.
Yeah, this will be a good matchup here, Jimmy, and Raiders putting out their top line, starting off from the get-go here. So we'll see how the Tigers respond.
All right, looks like it'll be Ferris facing off for Albert Lee, and they will win the opening draw here. And it's broken up almost immediately by the Raiders, and Kaiser's going to fire it all the way down to the other end. Albert Lee in the royal blue and red, Raiders in the white and maroon breezers, going from your radio dial left to right, and Austin going right to left. And it is picked up by Kaiser, centering pass out front, comes to the top of the point. There's a shot deflected up and over and in, and he shoots and he scores just like that in 27 seconds.
Yeah, I think the goaltender was screened there with the puck popped out, and nice snipe, upper right corner, beat the goaltender. I don't think he ever saw it.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. It was just kind of a pass that came up over the top of that right circle, and it was just a nice little shot there, I believe, by Kaiser, so he puts him up. That is his 14th point of the season already this year for Mr. Kaiser. And so they're up with 27 seconds into it. They're up 1-0.
Scoring for the Raiders at 27 seconds of the first period, number 12, Camden Kaiser. The assist with the number 11, Jacob Geiger, number 20, Caden Monson. Kaiser from Monson and Geiger on your Raider goal.
Well, you hear that all day long, don't you?
Yes,
Camden to Kaiser to Monson to Geiger to Monson to Geiger. You know, so I mean that's a tough first line out there.
Yeah, Kaiser getting his 9th goal of the season. He's just all everywhere on the ice.
Cashing down underneath the circle. Now it's still fighting for it in the Albert Lee zone. They try to center it up and out, try to clear it out to stay from Albert Lee. He goes sliding all the way in, and into the boards he goes. Well, we know the ice is slippery.
It is.
Stewart will take that one, and he'll push it up into the Albert Lee zone, deep into the Albert Lee zone, as Winter gets after it there in the corner, tries a little forecheck there. Still holding on to the puck. There's a nice forecheck there by the Raiders, and Winter will take over control of it and then loses it. Centering pass out in front again. There's a shot, and that one's caught, broken up, and that was number 19 right out in front of there. That was Whiteman. He had a shot at her, but the goalie able to get the save on that one.
Yeah, he had a couple whacks at it, actually. A nice shift by that line. Good forecheck, as you mentioned.
Will face off to the left of Stadheim as the goalie for Ledger Stadheim for the Albert Lee Tigers, and they controlled Kennelly with that one, and then that one's broken up by the Austin Tigers, and they'll try to clear it up out of their zone. Held in. Geiger trying to hold it in, dumps it all the way down under the corner. Olsen was picked up again. Now it's picked up by Geiger. He'll bring it to the top to Pumper. Pumper, wrist shot up in front, deflection, rebound out front, another shot out there, but pushed back into the zone is the Raiders as they continue to keep it in the Albert Lee zone right here. And we are currently from the Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's 1-0 in favor of your Northfield Raiders here as they score quickly. There's a shot deflected up and out, and that one's going to go up into the net, so we'll have a short stoppage of play. And there's a short three shots on goal for the Raiders, none for Albert Lee.
Yeah, real nice shift there by Cooper Rand and Mr. Pumper at defense, keeping that puck in the zone, pinching, putting a lot of pressure on early.
So we'll face off to the right of the goalie for Albert Lee. They'll recover the face-off off the top of the glass, but that one's held in by the Raiders there. Another shot towards the goal. That one's a pad to deflection all the way into the near boards. Albert Lee being very physical down in the corner down there. Puck comes loose. Boardman tries to dump it back in. Now across the middle. That one's a shot across the crease. And that one is all the way to the far side. Another check into the boards for the Raiders in behind. There's a centering pass out front. Deflected by Stadheim over to the far boards. Picked up by Albert Lee. They'll push it all the way through the zone, but they're going to have to chase for it. Boardman will get after it. They're going to wave off the icing call. And with 14-16 to go here in the first period, Albert Lee with their first offensive opportunity there of the game, and not really much as the Raiders were able to defend against that one and dump it all the way back in to the other end of the zone. And of course, Benjamin trying to in hot pursuit. Albert Lee trying to get it out, and the Raiders just keep pounding it. That's little Bridger Riley with a nice hand pass, so to speak, but a little deflection there. That will go back into the Northfield zone. They'll regroup, and they'll pick it up. And Munson will take it down this right side. Now across the middle, there's a shot into the glove. He deflects it right out front. Munson with a rebound, almost with another shot. Stadheim, I'm not sure what he was doing with that. He caught it in his mitt, and then he just dropped it out front, and Munson almost had another shot at it. Kaiser down in the corner. Now he'll try to clear it out in front. Nothing out there. He'll take it all the way to the far boards. Centering pass out front. That one's going to come up to Geiger. Geiger shot by the other Geiger. Jake Geiger, that one is. We got both the Geigers on the ice. There's a little wrister right there. That one's deflected up and over the top of the net, and now we'll have a stoppage of play here. And it looks like maybe the net came loose or the puck got caught up in there just briefly with 13-14 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, I think Albert Lee appreciates that stoppage of the action. Boy, was there a lot of pressure there. Munson just skated right up through the Albert Lee defense there and had really a nice shot. The Albert Lee goaltender had it in the glove, and then it popped out, and that provided some other opportunities.
And the Raiders will control the face-off in the deep in the Austin zone, or excuse me, Albert Lee zone. That was the other night. And now out in front, Riley tries to push it back down into the corner. It's going to get picked up there. It looks like a lady, and he'll send it into the neutral ice. Raiders trying to control it, push it back up and through. Winner trying to keep it in. He'll bring it back into the neutral ice. They'll regroup here in their own zone. To the near boards we come. Ben Geiger back over to Riley. To the far boards to Winner. Cashin making a break down the line, and that puck comes off a stick, so you can't really get a pass out there. Here's a pass to the near corner here. Picked up by the Raiders, up to Pumper at the top. There's a shot towards the goal, and that one's deflected as it just comes flying through the zone there. Puck comes through the crease and all the way to the far boards. Winter fighting for it down there in the corner. Austin will flip it up in the air. They'll drop it down. I don't believe that one's going to have to come out. They'll have to back that one out. Austin Lee, Albert Lee with the quick line change there as everybody changes up a little bit, Raiders included. Puck will go all the way down into the near corner. Oh, there's a pickoff in the defensive end, and that was almost a mistake, and he shoots, he scores! Number 19 for your Northfield Raiders is Whiteman as he gets his second goal of the season at the 4-minute and 57-second mark.
Raiders able to sustain the pressure in the Albert Lee zone, even on that line change, and pucked out, and What a snipe into the net there, making it 2-0 at the 12:03 mark of the first period. And Raiders are really controlling the pace of play here, Jimmy. There's Albert Lee has really not had they haven't had a shot on goal, and they really haven't done much offensively.
They've only actually been in their offensive zone for about 30 seconds.
Number 19, Christian Whiteman. Assist with the number 21, Griffin Kennelly. Whiteman from Kennelly at 4:57 on your Raider goal.
And there you have it. Kennelly with the assist on that one. 11:47 remaining here from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Raiders on top of this one. 2-0 early.
Raiders skating with a lot of confidence. You can see the defense. They're controlling the puck. They got their heads up, looking for passes. The coach is rolling, 3 lines, and so far, really a nice start to this game for the Raiders.
Albert Lee will control the puck down in their own zone, deep in their own zone, and they follow in behind the net, tries to clear it along the boards. Broken up temporarily by Boardman, and now the puck will go back to Benjamin, all the way back in the Northfield zone. He'll hit the brakes, turn the other way. Tries to push the pass up and out. Puck dumped into the Albert Lee zone, but it's intercepted in the neutral ice. Crone getting taken off and hit hard up against Simon, that is. Taking one hard against the boards there as he'll come out of the game. Raiders down deep. Ben Geiger with the puck, trying to control it down in the near boards. Boardman can't control that one as that one comes to the top, and now it'll be the other direction as Albert Lee will take off, and that's Stay firing it all the way into the deep end of Northfield, and then Riley will push it up and through into the Albert Lee zone, brings it all the way across as that stick gets in the way there that got dropped there earlier by Simon. In the neutral ice they come. Down the left-hand side they're going to go. That's Ferris. Ferris, one of their top performers. There's a puck right out in front, and we're going to have a penalty. I think we're going to get a cross-check on Munson. He tried to go all defensive there. I'm pretty confident.
Yes.
They got a hand in the air. I'm almost certain they're going to call this penalty, but maybe I'm... Nope,
yeah,
there he is.
Yeah, he's being escorted to the box. Doesn't like the call, but I think it was a fair call, actually. And this was really the first good opportunity, high danger opportunity for Albert Lee. It almost cashed in, and they did draw the penalty. So see how the Raider penalty kill works out.
And the Raiders are pretty good on the penalty kill, probably killing almost 90% of the penalties that they've had
Minor penalty
this
on
year.
the Raiders at 6:28 in the first
there will be a penalty against...
Number 2, Ben Geiger, 2 minutes for hooking.
Well, they're going to get Geiger for the call. I thought that was Munson right out in front, but it looked like they got Geiger.
Yep, they got him with the hook, pulled him down in front of the goal. Protecting his goaltender, not a bad penalty.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was wide open right out in front of the net. You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Right.
So, and they trust their penalty kill, so that's good. Pumper all the way across to Rand. He'll fire it all the way in. We've got 1:26 in the power play for Albert Lee. So 30 seconds gone by already in the penalty. And Albert Lee not really generating any offense just yet. And there's a hard hit into the boards, and down they go. Albert Lee with a shot towards the goal. That's a pad save there by Frank. That one was going to go all the way back in behind the net. Rand. It looked like Brua got hit, banged up a little bit there against the board. He's skating off.
He's thinking about it. Poor kid. He looks like he's hurting.
And it will come across to Kaiser. Kaiser all the way 1-on-4. Looking for a break across the middle. Munson couldn't find him right there as it goes all the way down in the far corner. Riley picks it up, passes it up and out. Munson will skate it back and out of there because we've got 38 seconds remaining. They'll just dump it all the way into the Albert Lee zone here. Raiders out shooting Albert Lee this afternoon, 7-3. Puck dumped all the way back into the far zone. 25 seconds remaining here in the penalty to Geiger. Fighting for it is Albert Lee in their own zone down in the corner. Munson will pop it back down in the corner, and then it'll pop loose out on top. Now they'll skate it up. Pass to the right. There's a shot towards the middle, and that one's missed right there. Munson breaking for the crease, and that one went right off his stick. And now Albert Lee will turn around the other direction. Munson with a nice forecheck there. And
Raiders
just got
strength.
Full strength. We're back to full strength. Now there goes Ben Geiger as he scoots across the ice, and he'll jump off the ice here now.
Nice recovery by Caden Munson on that penalty kill there, preventing a potential rush.
Puck will come clean into the Albert Lee zone, dump deep. Geiger in hot pursuit. Winner over there. Premeditated forecheck there. 8:07 remaining here in the first period from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Raiders on top. 2-0 as they have a little bit of a scrum here in the near boards. Now that one's finally picked up and is pickpocketed off of there by Pumper. Pumper in his own zone. Forward pass up to Whiteman. That one goes off his stick and goes all the way down into the deep end. Picked up by Albert Lee. Now taken off his skate for a brief second. Centering pass out front. Whiteman with an opportunity. Can't keep it on his stick as Albert Lee's stick pokes that one away. Now they'll try to skate it up and through neutral ice. And that's Benjamin picking it up, forwarding that one up there to Pumper as well. Trying to hold it in is Albert Lee, but they'll force it through and into the Albert Lee zone. They go skating. Whiteman tries to control the puck. Now push through neutral ice. Ben Geiger forward to pass up, and that one gets pushed up to Boardman, sends it into the Albert Lee zone, and they turn right back around and fire it all the way back, and we're going to have a stoppage of play, and we're going to have a face-off in Albert Lee zone for icing.
Yeah, 7:10 left in the first period, and Northfield, for the most part, is really dominated play so far. Albert Lee did have that flurry that led to the penalty, but really didn't have a great shot on the penalty kill. On the penalty, maybe one.
Ben Geiger from the top of the circle, passed across the middle underneath as they try to beat his way back in there was Bradley, but that one's broken up and poked off their stick there. Albert Lee trying to clear the zone. Finally, it looks like they got a stick on it. Lottie gets it, and it's down the right-hand side. They go firing into the boards there as the Raiders try to come away with that one. Canelli with it, centering pass across the middle into the zone, but it's off the board. Bradley picks it up, and he'll try to dump it back in. Tries to push it into the Albert Lee zone before they pick it up back the other direction. Kolker take it off the other direction. Munson with a nice forecheck there. Here's another pass up to Bradley. Off the board again. He just can't seem to put a stick on it right away. But they'll all head off, so we got a whole full line change coming here. And Munson keeps it in, holds it in. And he tries to skate up and through. They kind of poke check him off the puck a little bit. There's a pass across. Kaiser with a shot. That one's a save. Now it's in behind. Kaiser picks it back up again. Forces it over to the far boards, and now we've got a delayed call here, and I think we might have a stoppage of play as the net comes off the stakes again, and we'll at 6:09 to go, we'll have another face-off.
Been, Jimmy, really impressed with Rand's play tonight. That pass to Kaiser was really nice. That was a great pass. Gave Kaiser another opportunity for a goal. Nice save by the Albert Lee goaltender.
Yeah, he definitely had a shot in that right slot, and I think if he maybe could have got a little bit higher in that upper corner, he probably had a sniped him on that one too. But needless to say, Albert Lee will control the face-off in their zone, and they'll push it all the way into the Northfield zone. That puck will come down out in front. Frank will push that one back up. Raiders trying to clear the zone. Albert Lee will dump it right back in. Picked up by Rand, now Pumper. Rand. Neutral zone. Hits it off the backboard. Albert Lee dumps it right back in. 5:40 to go here. First period from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Raiders on top, 2-0. Max is going to cover that one up. He must have saw something coming.
Well, yeah, that was an unfortunate effort at a pass off the backboards that popped out right to the goaltender instead of going behind the goal. So probably a wise play by Max. Freeze it, get a line change, calm things down.
So they'll face out just to the left of Max Frank in their own zone, deep in their own zone. They fire it off the glass to the near boards. Picked up nicely there. Stewart over to Cash, and he loses it forward in a second. Now Stewart with a shot, and it looks like we're going to have offsides, and we'll have a face-off in neutral ice.
Yep, just a little step behind on the zone entry there. Nice rush by this line. Face will be a face-off outside the blue line.
5:25 remaining, first period. Northfield on top. Boardman will take control of the puck in the neutral zone. Tries to dump it all the way into Albert Lee. Albert Lee will come away with that one. That's going to be Brua. He'll try to clear out of the zone. Brua seems to be okay. He got hit hard against the boards here a couple minutes ago, but he's back on the ice and seems to be feeling pretty good about himself. Simon pushes that one all the way down. Now it's going to be a pass back from Albert Lee as they try to clear their zone, and they do. And that one's going to go all the way back as the Raiders will try to pick that one. Boardman will try to center that one to Cashin. Cashin Puck comes loose against Albert Lee. They'll poke check that one off, and now the Raiders will just dump it back in. They're going to have a full line change here. So they've got 3 people coming back on the ice as the defense in the back. Benjamin Geiger, here's an opportunity winner out in front, and that one's broken up by the defense by Albert Lee. Riley gets it in the neutral zone. That was picked up by Geiger. Geiger tries to forward that pass past Bradley, and Albert Lee will clear into the zone. They go, and there's a check. Nice defensive move by the Raiders there on defense. 4:25 to go here, first period. Bradley can't seem to get control of the puck there. It'll be Ben Geiger chasing after it there. Riley on his hot pursuit as well. He'll go after it. He'll dump past that one over here. And they'll try to push it up and through the ice. There's a forecheck there by Albert Lee. Try to still be a little bit physical here as Benjamin dumps it back in behind the net. As Stedman tries to get control of the puck. There's a nice little check right there. There's a nice little poke by Bradley. That puck's going to come all the way loose and into the neutral zone. Riley, nice deke. He could have got crushed right there by Persick. He was in hot pursuit, so he avoided that contact. Now that puck will come right out in front of the crease there. Now when that one's broken up by Albert Lee, they'll send it flying. And now the Raiders will pick it up in their neutral ice, and then Pumper will skate it back, and in behind they'll go, and they'll kind of group with everything. With 3:30 to go, that puck didn't go all the way around as they anticipated. There's a shot to go on the rebound, and a defensive breakdown by the Raiders allows Albert Lee to put a point on the board at the 13:27 mark.
Jimmy, I was just going to say before that goal that I felt like Albert Lee was settling into the game a little more. You could see that they were trying to match the speed of the Raiders, and that was a very nice play right in front of the goaltender.
So that was unfortunately because we were trying to clear it around the boards. We didn't get it all the way back and through, and then they found the turnover.
For Albert Lee at 13:27 of the first period. Number 17, Jacob Kolker. The assist went to number 13, Sam Stay.
So that is actually the second goal for Kolker on the season. That's his second point of the season. 3:15 to go from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Raiders still on top, 2-1, but that was an unfortunate turnover for the Raiders there because they tried to clear it out of their zone and it ended up getting caught in the net, and then Albert Lee just happened to be right out in front, was able to center that, and then the Kolker put it away. So there was nothing much Max Franks could do about that one because he was at the mercy of the defense there.
Absolutely.
2:52 to go, picked up by Albert Lee in their own zone, and that'll be Olsen. He'll fire it all the way across the other side. Turn around, Whiteman with an opportunity. Up across the ice they go. Canelli tries to hold it in. Raiders still in control with that one as it goes in behind the net briefly. Albert Lee tries to push it up and out. Simon with a nice play there as the Raiders will now pick it up in the neutral zone. Canelli skating it through. Deflected briefly, but it's in the zone. Whiteman, opportunity down the right-hand side. Nobody there to help him out. And it'll be Geiger chases up in behind, and Boardman tries to hold it in, but that puck will again go flying down the other direction. And look out again. That Connor Persick in hot pursuit. He's a big boy from Albert Lee.
He is. We're going to get the icing, bringing the puck back into the Albert Lee zone, and it'll give our coach a chance to get that first line back out on the ice and see what we can do.
2:15 remaining. Shots on goal for the Raiders. 8-4 for Albert Lee and the Tigers. So we'll face off in the left of Stadheim, the goalie for Albert Lee. That one goes all the way down into the far boards before it is sent across here to the near corner. Now Geiger out in front. There's a shot, and that one's broken up by the goalie there, Stadheim. Munson with a nice shot, but just couldn't get enough stick on it. We're just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first period as the Raiders still in command here. They're not really happy, I don't think, about that last goal, so they're in hot pursuit. They're buzzing the net all over. There's a pass across the middle, and that one's broken up in just a second. Ben Geiger had a shot, but another good save by Stadheim for the Tigers of Albert Lee. There's a hard smash into the boards. They go. Kaiser picks it up in his own zone. He'll try to skate it through. Usually does. It gets a little head of steam going, and down that left side he goes. He's got Geiger across the middle. Nobody there. Munson with the puck in behind the net. Geiger centering pass out front. That one's broken up by Albert Lee temporarily. Now it'll come to the top. Pumper all the way to the far circle. Pass across the middle. Geiger with a little backhander. That one's deflected by Stadheim. That one's going to get cleared all the way away. And we're just about a minute remaining. We'll have an icing call here with 1:05 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, that'll give Albert Lee a chance to get those guys off the ice. They looked a little tired back there. That first line really put some nice pressure on. Great passing. Couple of really good grade A opportunities. You're right on that one shot. The Northfield player did not get the full stick on it.
So we'll face off to the left of Stadheim for Albert Lee, and that'll come out in front. Pumper from the right circle. Senders all the way across the far circle.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Winner trying to break towards the middle. That one's going to get broken up, and down the other way goes Brua. Brua pushes it all the way through. Pumper, Brua going after it. And Pumper gets taken off into the boards, but picked up by Winner temporarily. Winner trying to clear in the zone. Finally, the Raiders come away with it. Straight across the middle they go, humping through the middle. And he's taken out, down to the ice he goes. So now it'll be Albert Lee trying to clear the zone with 35 seconds remaining here in the first period. Raiders getting physical down there in corner. Pumper with a shot. That's deflected, broke up temporarily as a rebound comes out. But the Tigers will take control of it, bounce it off the glass, and send it all the way back down to the Northfield end. And we've got 21 seconds left, and we'll have a face-off in Albert Lee's end. So, like I said, with 21 seconds remaining, the Raiders on top here, 2-1 from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Nice little matinee afternoon game. Albert Lee and the Northfield Raiders. A true test of what's going to happen here in the Big Nine, hopefully this season. Ben Geiger tries to forward the pass through and up, and that's deflected by Albert Lee, and they'll push it all the way back into the far corner as they continue to fight for it in behind the net. That one pops right out in front for a 10-second. Briley, he's going to try to load up Geiger with a shot. That one gets deflected and over to the near boards. Almost an opportunity just missed there by Ben Geiger. So from your Heritage Bank scoreboard, the Northfield Raiders on top this afternoon, 2-1. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. We'll recap the first period. You're watching Raider Hockey at NorthfieldLive.com and broadcasting on 95.1 The One, KYMN, and AM 1080. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Saturday morning and the sun is shining. The familiar faces of local business owners greet you with warm smiles. You've just unlocked the secret to a happier and more vibrant community, shopping local. Hi, I'm Kirk from Merchants Bank. When you shop local, especially during the holidays, you're not just buying products, you're investing in your community. Merchants Bank believes in supporting local businesses too. When you bank with us, you help put money back into the local economy, creating a thriving community for everyone. Thanks for supporting local.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center. Do you have HSA dollars that you're looking at wondering, hey, what can I use these on? Did you know you can use HSA, HRA, and other health savings accounts to pay for your LASIK procedure? In addition, if you have a Flex account, you can set aside money in your Flex account for next year to use towards LASIK.
Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center, Faribault. World-class LASIK, small-town traffic. RitchieEyeClinic.com.
Heritage Dental Care in Northfield is a general dental clinic specializing in a variety of dental procedures and services. New patients and emergencies are welcomed 5 days a week. Heritage Dental Care is a proud supporter of Northfield Athletics and wish all of our athletes the best of luck this season. Make an appointment today with Dr. David Bress, Dr. David Buck, or Dr. Michael Thompson. Go Raiders!
No matter what business you're in, it's hard to find someone to keep your business clean. ServiceMaster by Ayat's janitorial services cover everything from floor care and carpet cleaning to general cleaning, windows, and power washing. When you're in need of janitorial cleaning services, demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster by Ayat today.
Demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster.
Drive your student to the games and get paid. Many of us would love an extra flexible way to earn money. Benjamin Bus has many driving positions available, including vans that won't require a CDL, small and regular sized school buses. These positions offer flexible hours, days off when kids are out of school. You can even bring your kids to work with you and get paid to watch their games. Benjamin Bus offers on-site training and testing, along with wages up to $24 an hour. No experience is necessary. Stop by Benjamin Bus on Highway 3 in Northfield and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Valley Auto House is a full automotive repair, shop, collision center, and the only AAA authorized towing facility in Northfield. That means if you are in a minor or a major collision this winter, or if a deer happens to find your vehicle, Valley Auto House can handle it all. We work with all major insurance companies to handle your vehicle, from the tow to completing all of your vehicle's repairs. Valley Auto House is located at Highway 3 South in Northfield, open at 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, or you can find us at valleyautohouse.net.
We know that there is more to a home than the building. There is care and detail in every last nook and cranny of what you call home. That's why Schmidt Homes is the only call you'll ever have to make. Their in-house designer will work with you to get everything the way you want it. Their highly skilled craftsmen and quality materials will ensure the best possible value for your home. When you're ready to start building your home, be sure to check out Schmidt Homes' beautiful and regularly updated showroom for inspiration. Get started building your dream home. Learn more at schmidthomes.com.
Making decisions can be hard. Whether you're picking out home design details, choosing a college, or planning a wedding, you put a lot of thought into life's big events. But paying for it all is easy with a home equity line of credit from Hometown Credit Union. Rates are always affordable, and you can quickly apply online at hometowncu.coop. Make the decision easy with a Hometown Credit Union HELOC. Equal housing lender.
All right. And we're back at the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Jimmy LaRue along with Gordon Moore here this afternoon. Joey Hudson and Lance Reister bringing you all the play-by-play and view live here on NorthfieldLive.com, and of course live here on the radio 95.1 The One KYMN. And nice little first period for the Raiders. They outshot them 11-4, and it seemed like they were in total control, but one defensive breakdown and it cost them.
Yeah, I think the shots on goal do reflect the fact that Northfield was the better team in the first period and had better scoring chances. But what happened during the end of the period was Albert Lee got a little momentum with that defensive breakdown. They took advantage of it, and they go into the period with a little bit of a spring in their step. Although I think they were sort of saved by the buzzer there at the end. They were on their back foot for the last couple minutes with that first line for Northfield. You know, it's hockey's a funny game. Bounces off that back wall, the defensive lapses. So 2-1 looks a lot different than obviously a shutout would be. You know, I give Albert Lee credit. After those first two Raider goals, this game looked like it was kind of tipping on the precipice. I mean, was this just going to get ugly, or were Albert Lee going to get back into it? And they got back into it, showed some skill and ability, and I think they sort of decided they needed to step up their game a little bit and try to match Northfield's speed. So we'll see what happens in the first 5 minutes of that second period. I think that'll tell us a lot.
Well, scoring for the Northfield Raiders at the 27-second mark, so literally they just hit the ice. Cam Kaiser put his 9th goal in of the season and his 14th point. And then it was a couple minutes later, Christian Whiteman put a goal in at the 4:57 mark, and that, of course, his second goal and 3rd point of the season. For the most part, Raiders kept out of the box at the 6:28 mark. It was Ben Geiger. I thought it was Munson at first, but it was Geiger. And he got kicked for hooking, but that was another one of those defensive plays. Little turnover in their own end, and Albert Lee was charging, and he took him out by, basically slashing.
Yeah, Albert Lee's got a group here that will take advantage of mistakes. They've got some experience particularly on their forwards, and did a nice job of converting off frankly, a miscue in front of the Raider net. Keeping the game a little bit more competitive. I think Albert Lee has shown that they can skate with the Raiders. Question will be for 3 periods, can they do that?
Well, and also we talked about the physicality. There's been a lot of forechecking going on. Both teams talked about that earlier in the coaches' interviews. And without a doubt, the Raiders seem to have the upper hand there as well. They continue to be physical, and they are not afraid to take a shot and get across the boards.
Right. Well, one of the problems I think Albert Lee's having is that, you can't hit what you can't catch. And frankly, I think there's been a challenge there. I mean, the Raiders look very confident skating in open ice. But in those close spaces, you saw Albert Lee do a nice job of jamming up the middle there in the end and blocking shots. If you looked at actual shot attempts, if we had that NHL stat here, I'm sure Northfield shot attempts were 2 or 3 times more. But, a lot of blocked shots, a few misses. And it's a competitive game despite a shot disparity of 11-4.
Well, like I said, Albert Lee, there's a couple of times they had them teed up over there, but it's like Barrett Bradley and Riley and Pumper. They're looking over their shoulder and they're paying attention, so they have been able to avoid a lot of those hard hits.
Absolutely, yeah, and right. I mean, they have their heads up, head on a swivel. They talk about defensemen need to have that sort of 360 vision, and obviously you don't want to be a target. You got to have your head up, particularly if you're playing defense in high school hockey, or you're going to be in tough shape.
Well, we are wrapping up the end of the first period here. The Zamboni on the ice, of course, doing their thing from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. We've got a nice crowd starting to roll in here this afternoon, so that's a good thing. We got plenty of room, people. Come on in and come on over and watch us live over here, or you can, of course, continue to listen to us here on 95.1 The One and NorthfieldLive.com. But at the end of one period, the Raiders on top, 2-1 from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. You're listening to Raider Hockey on 95.1 The One, KYMN and AM 1080. And we are, of course, broadcasting live on NorthfieldLive.com. We'll take a short break. We'll come back and hopefully get to our second period here at the St. Olaf Ice Arena.
Community Resource Bank. You can bank from anywhere, anytime you want. The CRB mobile banking app makes it easy to keep track of your balances, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, and deposit checks any time of day or night. With branches in Northfield, Cannon Falls, and Roseville, we can offer solutions for businesses, residential, and investment accounts. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Northfield Insurance offers more than just home and auto. They offer business insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and bonds as well. They have a combined 147 years of experience across 6 employees to make sure that you are getting the best possible insurance for your exact needs. Not only will they protect what's yours, they'll make sure that you're cared for like family. Find out how you can get the right insurance for you at nfldins.com or by calling 507-645-8861. Northfield Insurance Agency. They've got you covered.
This is Barb from Professional Dental Group, letting you know that the doctors and staff of Professional Dental Group are proud to call themselves Northfield Raiders sports fans. Whether scheduling for an implant, mouthguard, or general visit, we look forward to providing you with the same exceptional care that Professional Dental Group has delivered for over 45 years. So on behalf of Dr. Becky Johnson, Dr. John Nowak, Dr. Brian Cravey, Dr. Tyler Yonke, and Dr. Mallory Peterson, go Raiders!
Getting glasses that fit right and look good doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. At River Valley Eye Professionals, we work with you to provide you with great-looking frames and the best corrective lens options available within a cost range you're comfortable with. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure your glasses fulfill your unique needs every time. We don't just sell glasses, we shape them to you and your lifestyle. Find out how we can help you see more clearly at rvep.com. River Valley Eye Professionals. Don't miss seeing your world.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
Getting a job doesn't have to be a time sink, at least not at Northfield Retirement Community. They work with me to create a schedule that works for me and is extremely flexible with time off. Not only are they flexible, but the work is beyond rewarding, knowing that I'm making the difference in our residents' lives. If you want to learn more about this fantastic place to work, check us out at northfieldretirement.org. Northfield Retirement Community. Innovation, choice, tradition.
Northfield is a unique town with passionate people. So much passion that it can be hard to keep up. That's why, if you're into art, local politics, sports, or anything else, Northfield Public Broadcasting is here to serve you. NPB is a free public access local television station that accepts submissions on anything you care about. NPB is a place to hear community voices and to share your own voice.
Check it out.
Thinking of buying or selling your home? Don't go at it alone. Did you know there are nearly over 200 steps to the real estate process? 200 things to consider, be aware of, 200 things that could impede your ability to buy or sell or compromise the actual closing day. Alas, have no fear. You can contact one of our local and relentless agents at Century 21 Atwood and Professional Pride Group anytime to answer all of your real estate questions. Century 21 Atwood and Professional Pride Group. We're unstoppable together.
Located in downtown Northfield, Champion Sports has everything you need to fill out your Christmas list. With Raiders, St. Olaf, and Carlton merch, including hats and hoodies, Champion's got you covered. Champion Sports has everything you need for the winter sports season, offering skates, skate sharpening, and official CCM equipment. When you're off the ice, Champion Sports has incredible shoe brands like Brooks and Adidas for when you're on your feet. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram to know when the latest seasonal gear is in stock at Champion Sports Northfield. Enjoy the holidays and gear up like a champion at Champion Sports.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
Back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena, welcoming all of our guests here across the country on NorthfieldLive.com. Welcome, everyone. Glad you could see us here. Of course, the Raiders out here taking the ice before the second period. Raiders on top, 2-1 from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. We're just about ready to get started with the second period, Gordon.
Yeah, Max Frank leading the Raiders back out on the ice, starting in goal today. Faced 4 shots on goal. The one goal that did get scored by Albert Lee was a little bit unfortunate, frankly, but he played a nice period. And, for the most part, the Raiders did control play in that first period. We'll see if that continues, see if Albert Lee is able to match them. I was really impressed with the Raider defense. They moved the puck well, lots of good scoring opportunities, and we got to hit the net a few more times, take advantage of those great passes.
Well, we definitely, without a doubt, need to be very conscientious here on defense and in our zone. That first goal cost us because of a turnover out in front, just basically almost out in front of the net. And you leave somebody wide open like that with a charging Albert Lee coming up the middle like that. Frank didn't see it, didn't have a chance, didn't even have a prayer to get a glove up or anything like that. And they had one earlier that Frank was able to stop. But again, turnover in their own zone. They got to stop doing that, or they're going to keep Albert Lee's just going to stay in this game, and then you're going to keep him around,
right.
And then we'll see what happens. But
yeah, in fairness, the Raiders are missing Ty Frank, probably their defensive captain back there, so it's giving some other guys a chance to see some real minutes. But yeah, you can't play with a puck behind your net.
No, you cannot, and we're just about ready to get this thing started again, and it's Persig, as the Raiders will control the opening faceoff of the second period. Cross-ice pass, but it comes right off the stick, and then that'll get pushed into the Northfield zone. Northfield tries to pick it up, but they try to clear their zone, but it comes into neutral ice and picked up there. Munson with a little forecheck there. That puck goes in behind the net as the Raiders try to pick it up in their own zone. Munson tries to bank it off the boards, but that's going to dump it all the way back down and in, and over to the corner it goes Olsen. He'll push it all the way in behind before it's picked up by Bridger Riley. Bridger forces it up through neutral ice. Albert Lee will take turn around and try to send it back into the Northfield zone. Regrouping are the Raiders. There's a shot. Nice forwarding outlet pass, but it went way too far out in front of the stick. And now Albert Lee will try to clear it out of their own zone. Cashin pushes it up front. Kaiser, shot, deflected, up over the glass. Picked up by Albert Lee. Rand. Cross-ice pass all the way down the right side they go. Raiders down the right side. There's a centering pass right there, and he whiffs on the shot there. Now it's a rebound out in front. There's Kaiser with another shot. That one's deflected. Into the near boards it comes. Rand takes it in behind. Centering pass through crease. Nothing there. There's a slap shot right there, and it's right out in front. Whoa. And the goalie almost cost him that one. And it's a nice slap shot from the right point. And it just got past the goalie, Briefman Stadheim, but he was able to cover it up.
Yeah, Stadheim did not know where that puck was. It was behind him, and it was loose. The ref didn't see it, blew the whistle. Good shift for the Raiders. Kaiser had 2 really good scoring opportunities.
15:44 remaining here as we just underway here in the second period from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. The Raiders lead this contest 2-1, and Albert Lee will control the faceoff in their own zone. Puck goes straight up in the air, all the way up in the air, almost into the ceiling, and they'll come back and we'll have a stoppage of play here. Facing off to the right of Stadheim, that was an interesting situation. That puck just skyrocketed about 25 feet in the air.
Yeah, and then came right back down. I don't know if it hit the heating and cooling system or a rafter there, but it's out of the Albert Lee zone.
So they will, it's out of there, but now the Raiders will dump it right back in, and then Albert Lee again will try to clear it up and out of there before it is picked up by the Raiders. Rand will take it back into his own zone, and they'll skate it up and out. They'll try to forwarding pass there. That one goes right on past Stewart there. Puck goes all the way in behind the net, and Winter gets back there first, and they kind of collide just briefly there. That's Hansen along with Winter back there, and that puck goes up into the net, and then we'll have another stoppage of play, and we'll face off to the right of Stadheim in the Albert Lee zone with 15:16 remaining here in the second period. Raiders with a 4-1 record. Albert Lee with a 2-1-1, who just skated to a 2-2 tie against Mankato West just the other night. That puck will try to get cleared by Simon, but that will be pushed right back in, and they'll have an automatic offsides, and we'll face off and neutral ice at the near circle. 15:06 remaining here, second period. Raiders on top 2-1, out shooting 12-4. Shots on goal for the Raiders. Puck comes clean for the Raiders. They'll push it all the way back into the Albert Lee zone. Tries to clear it is Hansen. Raiders try to keep it in. Now they'll skate through neutral ice. There it goes down the right-hand side. Dumped all the way towards the goal to Frank. That one's going to go all the way into the far corner. Raiders trying to clear it. Albert Lee trying to keep it in. Holding it in, taking a shot towards the goal, but just far to the right of Max Frank. Puck picked up by the Raiders, forwarding pass to Kennelly. Now he's going to try to centering pass. It's broken up off the stick of Geiger there briefly. Now they'll forward pass it again and push it in to their zone, and he gets taken down and into the ground he goes.
We got a penalty in the back end here, a trip.
So we will have a tripping call.
Number 15 for Albert Lee is going to the box, and he's going at the 14:31 mark of the second period. That would be Brock Scott. 2 minutes for a trip.
Okay, so this will be the first opportunity for the Raiders power play. We'll see how that one all pans out. Their penalty kill does really well. Raiders will take it into the far deep into Albert Lee's zone, and they will control the puck on the face-off, and as they open up this power play opportunity. Riley at the top, down to the lower circle. Across that left slot, Kaiser picks it up, looking for something across the middle, fires all the way across the ice to Geiger, but that one's picked up by Riley. He'll jump and dump all the way back into the behind, Cashin down in the near boards. In behind the net, Munson with a forwarding pass there. Kaiser couldn't get a stick on it. That'll come to the top. They'll skate it to the point. Down that right slot. Right out in front, Kaiser with a shot. That one's to far left of the net, and now that one will come out in behind as the Raiders continue to hold control of the puck. There's a pass right out in front, and that one's just off the plate there. Kaiser with another opportunity for a goal. That was deflected up and off and into the net, and we'll have another stoppage of play.
Two great scoring chances there by Geiger. Geiger, and I think it was Kaiser on the other one. You know, the defensemen for the Raiders are doing a nice job of avoiding the temptation to take wild slap shots to get blocked and turned into breakaways. Good passing.
Controlled by Northfield. There's a backhand right there, broken up by the goalie. And now down in the far corner, Borelli from the point. He'll come down here to the left circle, and Cashin can't control the puck, so that one's going to go kind of in behind, but Cashin trying to fight back for it. And we've got about 53 seconds remaining in the power play for Northfield. Riley out in front. Cashin can't quite control it as he takes it down in the circle, back to the point. Rister to the right. Now there's a shot across the middle. There's a shot there out in front. Geiger. That was broken up and down. It's in the goal. And we have a shot on goal. Looks like they have a nice little rebound there as the Raiders will take the lead 3-1. And it looks like Munson with the rebound at the 4:50 mark.
Yeah, Munson's going to get that. Good passing, good teamwork by the Raiders. The shot deflected, rebound, goal.
So that is a power play goal for the Northfield Raiders to put them up 3-1 in favor of Northfield from your Heritage Bank scoreboard with 13:10 remaining here.
Scoring for the Raiders on the power play, number 20, Caden Monson. Unassisted goal by Monson at 3:50 of the second period on your Raider power play goal.
Well, you heard it. It was unassisted. So a nice little defensive move by Munson. Munson always kind of in position at any given point throughout the contest. There's a hard hit against the boards as Becker gets taken hard against the boards there. They're starting to light things up here. That's Mendez with the crushing blow there. The Raiders will try to control the puck into the zone. Now it's a 2-on-1 the backside. Albert Lee broken up briefly by the Raiders, and that's a nice little breakup by Ben Geiger there as it goes into Frank's hands, and he'll cover it up, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Max Frank in the Northfield zone. 12:40 remaining here, second period. Second period here from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. We got plenty of room here for anybody who wants to come out this afternoon and take a look. But I know, streaming live on NorthfieldLive.com, it probably feels good to stay in your cushy chair and keep it warm here this afternoon. Puck being forwarded up, and there's a Winter across the middle. We got Geiger, Ben Geiger with an opportunity just off his stick into his skate. Just couldn't quite control that pass. Stewart will take it, try to dump it down. Picked up again by Cashin at the top. He'll take it all the way to the far boards, down into the near boards. Centering pass out front. Winter can't control it. Puck come off his stick. Albert Lee will push that one out. Stewart in hot pursuit. Raiders come away with it in their own zone. 12:05 to go, second period. Pass broken up temporarily by Albert Lee. Forwarding pass out in front there. There's an opportunity out in front for an opportunity. Centering pass out front. That one's finally broken up by the defense. Now it's going to be Pumper chasing after. Max Frank will dump that pass up and out. Kirstic in hot pursuit here. Skating through the neutral zone. Another hit into the boards they go. So Albert Lee starting to crank things up here a little bit, trying to get physical with the Northfield Raiders here in the second period. Down the right side, Persick with a shot. There's a nice save by Frank as it goes all the way across the ice to the other side. Kaiser down the left side. Here's Winter. Nice little move, and as Kaiser breaking for the net, but that one's broken up temporarily. A little stick poke there as Albert Lee protects themselves from a breakaway there. Raiders come across with it down into the near side. Rand trying to fire one across the middle. Kaiser will pick that one up, but he'll center that one across the Munson with another shot, and that one's deflected up and off and out of the play, and we'll have a face-off and a stoppage of play with 11:04 to go.
Good little flurry from the Raiders there. Shots on goal 16-6. Again, I think pretty matching the level of play here. Northfield definitely has got some momentum after that power play goal.
So far, they're outshooting them 5-2 here in the second period as we get underway here from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. And the Raiders will face off deep in the Albert Lee zone. That puck comes all the way out. The Raiders will kind of control that, but that one came all the way back, and Rand took it all the way back into the Northfield zone. Pumper, he'll send it all the way back in behind the net and all the way far boards. Raiders will try to push it forward. Kaiser tries to control it, but that one's broken up temporarily. Kaiser will take control of it again. Usually tries to skate it through, and that's what he's going to do. He'll take it down that right side. Munson breaking down the left. And that puck comes all the way in behind the net. Tries to get a centering pass there to Munson, but that one's broken up. Now Kaiser again with it from that point. Right out in front, and that one's deflected all the way into the far corner. Munson trying to keep it in. Raiders trying to get a hold of the puck. Now right out in front again, an opportunity there, broken up temporarily by Albert Lee. Now the puck comes loose into the neutral zone. The Raiders will regroup, and they'll try to push the puck up and in. Geiger picks it up. He'll try to forward pass. That one's broken up by Albert Lee. Kaiser tries to hold it in. Finally dumped in to the Albert Lee end, but they got a quick line change here by the Raiders. Both of them line changes. And Geiger puts the lick in the boards there, and a little confrontation here. The referee steps in between the two of them. We got some hot words going on.
Yeah, that was a retaliation for a hit by number 18 from Albert Lee that Geiger did not appreciate, and he turned around and delivered a retaliation. Yeah, there's a couple kids from Albert Lee that are really bringing the physicality right now. Interesting how that all plays out.
Here, if you're watching on NorthfieldLive.com, we'll get a little replay of that hit.
As you can see, puck going up to the far boards there, and Geiger just lays the hit right there in front of the Raider bench.
9:55 remaining here, second period. Things are heating up. If you want to see a good hockey game this afternoon, you want to get out here to the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Crowd's starting to fill in a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. A lot of people across the top rail, and we got some people sitting down as well. So we're getting a nice little crowd in here. Nice little local crowd. Albert Lee, of course, brought some of their fans up here, so we welcome them up here as well. And just a beautiful afternoon, about 29 degrees out. It's going to be overcast skies, maybe some light snow throughout the day, and that's kind of the way it's going to be. It's kind of a winter wonderland, and we're right here as we face off now in the Albert Lee zone. Geiger pushes it down, now back to the point. Ben, shot across. There's a pad save by Stadheim, excuse me, and then that puck will go down the right-hand side.
The second period.
So, yes, number 5.
2 men in ice, be served by number 5, Blaine Bakken.
So there you go. There you got too many people on the ice here, so the Raiders will be at the power play for a couple of minutes here, at least. Here to start out, or the middle part of the second period here. Now that one's broken up by Albert Lee. They'll dump that one all the way back down into the far boards. They go chasing. That's Stewart trying to come loose with it. Now Geiger, Ben on the power play. Down the left side is Winter. He'll scoot it all the way through, down to this end, in behind the net. Sends it all the way to the far corner. Somebody lost their stick, then picked it back up briefly. So now the puck will go back in behind the net. Albert Lee trying to clear. 8:56 to go here, second period. 59 seconds remaining in the too many men on the ice penalty for Albert Lee. There's a shot across the board, but that one was deflected easily by the defense out in front. Now it's down into the corner it goes. Raiders coming away with it to the point. Geiger back down to the left. Down underneath. Back to the top of the circle. Now all the way to the far side. Rister towards the net. That one's broken up. Again, another shot out in front. A rebound out in front of them. Oh, and another opportunity sitting right there, right out in front of the net. There's a shot towards the goal. That one's broken up. Stewart with a nice little wrister from that left circle. Now loses control, and it'll come all the way back into the Northfield zone, and we're winding down with 15 seconds to go. Ben Geiger takes it up and into the Albert Lee zone. Still opportunity for power play here. The Raiders didn't get as many people on the ice as they probably wanted there to help forge maybe a last second
Tigers
attack.
full strength.
And now they'll be at full strength again with 7:42. The puck comes right out in front. Geiger will send that one through as the Albert Lee will jump out on the ice right there. Now they're going to go down into the Northfield zone. There's a shot. There's a break. And Frank with a nice quick little save right there off the stick. Now it'll be coming out to the back of the zone of Northfield, but it's dumped right back in. Geiger will pick that one up through neutral ice. Kaiser with Munson going down the left side. That one stick poked off at the stick of Kaiser right there. Picked up again by Persick. Persick tries to skate it in through for Albert Lee, but cannot do it. Munson finds a breaking. It was Benjamin breaking down the right side, but that pass was just a little bit out in front, so he can't control it. Now the Raiders in their own neutral ice. Down the left side they go. Riley, let's fire it towards the goal. And that one's broken up easily by Johnston. 7:03, and that puck goes flying off the glass and into, it looks like the scorer's table here. So we're going to have a stoppage of play with 7:01 to go.
Yeah, they get just hooked right there into the penalty box.
Yeah, left penalty box here. 7:01 to go. Northfield leading 3-1. Face-off will be to the goaltender's right in the Albert Lee end. And as Jimmy said, a lot of fans here. Nice afternoon for high school hockey in Minnesota.
Rand with a shot. Broken up quickly by Albert Lee out in front of the net. Now they'll skate it down the left-hand side, and they'll fire that one all the way. As Ferris fires it all the way in behind the net, centering pass there. Nice little break up there by Pumper to save it from getting out in front of the crease there. And he'll take it, try to skate in behind the net as he tries to clear his zone, and he's ridden right into the boards. There's a shot towards the net. Frank just pokes it away with his stick. Raiders will pick it up. They'll try to bank it off the glass, and I almost thought that was coming up here for a second, but
yeah,
luckily nothing.
Up in the fans up here, that was deflected up and over, almost to the top rail.
So we've got a stoppage of play as we regroup, and we will face off to the left of Max Frank. Max so far saving 6 shots and letting that one get past him, but like I said, that wasn't really his fault. There wasn't much that he could do about that one, but otherwise staying pretty stellar in the net. And the Raiders will control the face-off and fire it all the way up and around, and away she goes. Albert Lee will chase it down, and it'll be Brule will pick the puck up right there, and they'll bring it all the way back down as another icing is called here on the Raiders. 6:22 remaining here. Second period from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. The Northfield Raiders on top 3-1, scoring 2 5-on-5 goals and 1 power play goal here in the second period. That puck goes right out in front. Back there, there's a scramble for it. Frank looking for it, and they're going to call the goal there. The puck came loose, and that was kind of a crazy scram, too, as the puck kind of came loose. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but Max Frank couldn't find it, and then in the goal it goes, and it looks like they're going to give that one, I think, to Nelson.
Yes. What happened, it looked like Frank made the first save, and then, like you said, the rebound came out, couldn't locate the puck, and the Albert Lee kid made a nice play. He was on his knees when he sort of swept that one into the net there. So that makes it 3-2 Northfield with 6:15 left in the second period. An important goal for Albert Lee.
Yeah, watching that instant replay brought to us by Community Resource Bank on NorthfieldLive.com. It did look like he was just completely laying down, just stuck his stick out there as the puck kind of flew out and just stuck it into the side of the net.
So they kind of crashed the net and were rewarded for it.
Indeed they were. So now the Raiders skating through the neutral ice. Pass across the middle, broken up. Hyde. Boy, you get that extra goal like that, and all of a sudden, everything comes alive for the team.
Scoring for the Tigers at 10:45 of the second period, number 18, Derek Late. Unassisted goal.
That was a nice play by Carter Simon for the Raiders there, deflecting that puck off, but Albert Lee's got a little spring in their step suddenly. They are definitely forechecking hard.
They try to dump it back in. The Raiders try to clear it. Now in neutral ice. Again, getting a little scrappy over there. Ferris putting the heat to it now. Munson skates it through the middle, looking for something. Shot towards goal. That one's broken up.
Whoa.
And that one's right out front. A nice save by the goalie there. And now the Raiders will still control it. In behind the net, centering pass out front, Kaiser with another shot, and a goal from Munson at the 11:54 mark.
Great individual effort by that line. Munson in particular, a dipsy-do move, almost beat the goaltender. Puck came back around the goal and found Cam Kaiser really on guard in front of the net for a nice response by the Raiders.
That almost looked like it was scripted.
Yes, that was. Goaltender made a nice save on the first Munson move when, frankly, it looked like he had him beat, but not the second one.
Face off.
Scoring for the Raiders at 11:54 the second period, number 12, Camden Kaiser. Assist with the number 20, Caden Monson, and number 22, Oliver Benjamin. Kaiser from Monson and Benjamin on your Raider goal.
Kaiser's 10th of the season. His 15th point on the season as he tries to catch his teammate Geiger, who leads all scoring, or actually scoring and assists for the Northfield Raiders. 4:33 remaining here in the second period, and the Raiders go up two scores as they lead 4-2 here in the second period. There's a centering pass right out in front, broken up by the defense as they fire that one all the way down, and we'll have an icing call on that one, and we'll bring it all the way back to the left-hand side, I believe, of Ledger Stadheim, the junior goalie for Albert Lee.
Yeah, Northfield's nice response after Albert Lee got that second goal. They came back and they sort of reestablished, I think, control here when Albert Lee really for a minute or so looked like they had Northfield on their back feet.
Ben Geiger at the top. Shot down and deflected into the near boards. Riley will pick that one up in behind the net again. Opportunity. There's a winner with a slapper, and that one goes just wide to the net there as it'll come back up to the top of the point. Albert Lee, hot pursuit in their own corner. Raiders still controlling the puck in behind. Riley, he'll do a little wrister, and there's a shot. And that goalie did not see that at all. He turns around and gets it. I don't think he saw that one coming. He got lucky.
That climbed up his. God, yeah, he did get lucky. That went off his shoulder, I think, to the right finally. And then the net came off the stanchion there to stop play.
So another scoring opportunity for the Raiders as they are 5-on-5 here. They've got that one power play goal here this afternoon here in that second period. But now we got 3:46 remaining. Puck is controlled briefly by Northfield. Winner trying to hold on to it. Geiger out in front looking for something there. Ben Geiger tries to control the puck in behind as Riley tries to push that one back in. Cashin trying to hold it in. Now in behind the net. Cashin tries to do a little wraparound. That one's broken up by Albert Lee right out in front of the net, but we're going to have a stoppage of play here. It looks like we might have a penalty on the play.
I think they're going to call a hand pass, which will bring the puck outside the zone on number 16 for Northfield. That's a judgment call. He knocked it down, and I guess he sort of moved it with his hand.
So 3:24 to go. Face off neutral ice near circle. Picked up by Simon all the way across the ice. Tries to push it into the zone. They'll send it all the way in behind. Kaiser trying to get after it a little bit. There's a shot across the middle. Oh, and just a good save there by Stadheim. What a shot out in front. Simon down into the corner. Kaiser in behind the net. Tries to poke one up and through. Albert Lee trying to clear it. Brua finally pops it up into the neutral ice as Albert Lee continues to get after it in neutral ice. Now it's finally picked up by Persick. Persick tries to do a little drop pass. There's a shot. That was deflected out in front. Munson, nice little stick poke there. That one will come all the way through. Now Munson all the way through the neutral ice looking for somebody. And that puck gets deflected. Now in behind they go. Pumper with a nice defensive pickpocket right there. And that one will go out in front. Now another Persick shot. Frank right out in front. That one goes flying up to the far boards. There's another shot towards the net. Now it's finally picked up by Simon. Simon tries to clear it up and out. And now the Raiders will pick it up and try to skate it through with 2:20 to go. Nice little breakout pass there, but off the stick of Geiger. And now back through neutral ice is Albert Lee. And they'll push it all the way back into the corner it goes. Kolker getting after it over there, but that one's taken by Rand. Rand will control the puck. And we're coming down to 2 minutes here in the second period. There was almost another defensive turnover there by Pumper as he runs into his own guy and takes him to the ice. Rand takes the puck in there, deep in their own zone, tries to get a clearing pass, broken up temporarily. Now Becker will recover. Becker will skate back into his own zone, sends it all the way across to Rand. Rand now back in behind the net. Raiders with 1:42 to go, trying to clear it out of their own zone and just no fault of their own, but it's just, there's a shot towards the goal. Broken up backhand out in front. Frank with a nice save. Now it's back into the near ice. Right in front of the crease it comes, and the Raiders will come away with it with no harm, no foul on that play. So a little blitzkrieg there by Albert Lee as this one goes all the way down into the corner. Hansen tries to clear it up and out. Into the zone it comes. Here comes Albert Lee going the other direction. Now it's broken up in neutral ice. Raiders looking to push it into the Albert Lee zone. Finally picked up again by Johnson. Johnson fires all the way in. And we got 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here as Northfield trying to fend off Albert Lee, who's trying to get a little bit of a surge of energy here in the second period. 1 minute remaining here in the second period. Northfield in a full line change, and they are going to get back in time, it looks like, for a second there. I thought they were going to get caught with their pants down, but they were able to recover there. Now the puck coming out into the neutral ice, so Cashin will skate that one up and in, and a 1-on-4 there, dump pass there, centering pass across to Winter on the left circle. He can't quite get a shot on it, can't get the stick on it. Now it'll come right out in front as Albert Lee will try to force it out of the zone as they fight for it in the deep end of their own end. For the Raiders over there, Cashin fires it all the way across to the far circle. We've got 24 seconds remaining as the puck will go in behind the net for the Raiders, and another crashing check into the corner. Puck comes clean. Finally, enough of this, they said. They're going to fire that one all the way. Get me out of here, said Antonsen.
Yes, wisely so. 11 seconds left, actually 12 almost. You're right, the Albert Lee Tigers showing good compete level. They, after Northfield got that fourth goal, nice response here. Max Frank made a couple of very nice saves at that end to keep it 4-2.
And they'll face off in the Albert Lee zone. That one goes all the way to the far circle, and they'll wind this one down. Let's see if a shot will be taken. Kaiser towards the net. Looks like 2 seconds left to not get a decent shot. Oh, that one almost popped out in front, but that one was no good as it goes in behind the net. And that'll end our second period from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. The Raiders on top here after 2, 4-2. against the Albert Lea Tigers. We'll take a break. We'll come back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena and recap our first two periods. You're watching Raider Hockey on and listening at 95.1 to 1 KYMN and streaming live right here on NorthfieldLive.com.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
The days are getting cooler, and it means it's time to take a trip to Witt Brothers for your winter checkup. Let's face it, no one wants to get caught in the cold with a dead battery. Make sure your vehicle is in peak condition for the winter season. The checkup includes an oil change, tire rotation, brake inspection, battery tests, and they'll even winterize your vehicle. Stop by Witt Brothers Service, located at 701 Division Street in downtown Northfield, for all your automotive maintenance and repair needs.
The graphic mailbox in the River Park Mall. With all of your mailing and printing needs, we can pack it up, ship it out, and get it down the road. Fabricate a sign or a banner. We work hard to know our products. We can find what works for you and set you up with everything you need. The graphic mailbox in the River Park Mall, offering solutions for you.
No matter what business you're in, it's hard to find someone to keep your business clean. ServiceMaster by Ayat's janitorial services cover everything from floor care and carpet cleaning to general cleaning, windows, and power washing. When you're in need of janitorial cleaning services, demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster by Ayat today.
Demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster.
The Quarterback Club of Northfield knows just how hard the student-athletes work each and every sports season and would like to wish all of the Raiders athletic teams the best of luck this year. After practice is over or before the big game, stop into the Quarterback Club and grab their roasted chicken, tender baby back ribs, or famous broiled burgers. Short on time? Call ahead and they will have it ready for you to carry out. They serve lunch and dinner, so no matter your busy schedule, the Quarterback Club has something for you. Good luck, Raiders, and we'll see you after the game. The Quarterback Club, off Highway 3 in Northfield.
Heritage Dental Care in Northfield is a general dental clinic specializing in a variety of dental procedures and services. New patients and emergencies are welcomed 5 days a week. Heritage Dental Care is a proud supporter of Northfield Athletics and wish all of our athletes the best of luck this season. Make an appointment today with Dr. David Bress, Dr. David Buck, or Dr. Michael Thompson. Go Raiders!
Northfield Live doesn't just provide game coverage. We provide opportunities for Northfield youth to showcase, learn, and experience many aspects of media. Practice their communication skills by providing play-by-play and color announcing, getting interviews with fellow students or coaches, or writing stories. They can showcase their graphic art skills by creating social media, running cameras for events, or producing a game like the one you're watching now. We also utilize the talents of adults to help mentor and provide a quality experience for the students. If you or someone you know might be interested in growing our coverage, you're welcome to call, text, or email us from the Northfield Live page at any time.
It's Saturday morning and the sun is shining. The familiar faces of local business owners greet you with warm smiles. You just unlocked the secret to a happier and more vibrant community, shopping local. Hi, I'm Kirk from Merchants Bank. When you shop local, especially during the holidays, you're not just buying products, you're investing in your community. Merchants Bank believes in supporting local businesses too. When you bank with us, you help put money back into the local economy, creating a thriving community for everyone. Thanks for supporting local.
Hey, welcome back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena. No, we're not at the Northfield Ice Arena. We're at the St. Olaf Ice Arena. So for those of you that are looking to catch the third period of the Northfield Raiders hockey team this afternoon, you want to come over to the other side of town over here by the Northfield Ice Arena, St. Olaf Ice Arena on the campus of St. Olaf. So we're in between periods here, in between the first and second period. And the Raiders on top of this one, 4-2. And both of their goals in the second period coming off of a power play from the penalties on the Albert Lee, and one of them being just too many men on the ice, so they penalized one guy, sent him to the bench, and they were able to capitalize on that one. And that was, again, Cam Kaiser at the 11:54 mark to put him up 4-2.
Yeah, Northfield showing really good special teams play on those power plays. Lots of great scoring opportunities, particularly with that first power play line. Albert Lee was really chasing there. But give the Tigers credit. They've been a little opportunistic. They've taken advantage of a couple of opportunities, and they're showing some grit, and they're down 4-2. So this game is very much still a hockey game going into the third period.
Well, you know, Jacob Kolker scored their first goal at the 13:27 mark of the first period. That was on a defensive turnover that pretty much left Max Frank helpless out in front in that first period. And that second one at the 10:45 mark, that was a goofy goal because it was number 16, I believe. He was on, actually it was Derek Lady, and he was laying in the crease.
Yeah.
And the puck just had to come loose enough, and he was able to just get a stick on it.
It was, very opportunistic. Puck popped right in front of him, and he swept it in the goal. But showing grit and compete. They had a nice flurry. Frank made the first save, and the puck popped out weird. So interesting bounces in the game of hockey, and Albert Lee's taken advantage of a couple of them.
They absolutely have. The Raiders outshot them 12-9, but they outshot them 11-4 in that first one. So this one a little more offensive equality.
Yeah, it was I'd say a more balanced period overall. I still feel like the Northfield first line is clearly superior to anything that Albert Lee can throw out. But after that, it's been relatively even. Good physical play. There was one little scrum on the bench side there that was a little marginal, but for the most part, the hits have been clean and the good compete level by both teams. And the crowd is being really given a nice opportunity to see two of the better hockey teams in Section 1A battling here, which could be a preview for later on this year, Jimmy, depending on how the season ends up. Albert Lee is, we talked about it coming into the game. Most preseason polls had them in probably the 3 or the 4 spot for the section, with Northfield probably the 1 spot. But, in a one-game playoff series, anything can happen.
So to recap some of that scoring right there, Camden Kaiser gets his 9th and 10th goal of the season as he scores at the 27 mark of the first period and then scores again in the second period at 11:54. Christian Whiteman, he got his second goal of the year at the 4:37 mark of the first period. And then Caden Monson, he of course put on his 4th goal of the season as he scores at the 4:50 mark there of the second period. So we've got a 4-2 contest here coming into the third period. We're from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. We invite you to come on down and check us out. But in the interim, we'll take another little bit of a break here, and we'll bring you back to the third period of play here. Raiders again from your Heritage Bank scoreboard on top, 4-2, and out shooting Albert Lee 23-13. We'll take a break and we'll come back. You're listening to Raider Hockey at 95.1 The One, KYMN and AM 1080, and streaming right here on NorthfieldLive.com.
Community Resource Bank. You can bank from anywhere, anytime you want. The CRB mobile banking app makes it easy to keep track of your balances, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, and deposit checks any time of day or night. With branches in Northfield, Cannon Falls, and Roseville, we can offer solutions for businesses, residential, and investment accounts. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Valley Auto House is a full automotive repair, shop, collision center, and the only AAA authorized towing facility in Northfield. That means if you are in a minor or a major collision this winter, or if a deer happens to find your vehicle, Valley Auto House can handle it all. We work with all major insurance companies to handle your vehicle, from the tow to completing all of your vehicle's repairs. Valley Auto House is located at Highway 3 South in Northfield, open at 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, or you can find us at valleyautohouse.net.
Getting a job doesn't have to be a time sink. At least not at Northview Retirement Community. They work with me to create a schedule that works for me and is extremely flexible with time off. Not only are they flexible, but the work is beyond rewarding. knowing that I'm making the difference in our residents' lives. If you want to learn more about this fantastic place to work, check us out at northfieldretirement.org. Northfield Retirement Community. Innovation, choice, tradition.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie, Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center. Do you have HSA dollars that you're looking at wondering, hey, what can I use these on? Did you know you can use HSA, HRA, and other health savings accounts to pay for your LASIK procedure? In addition, if you have a Flex account, you can set aside money in your Flex account for next year to use towards LASIK.
Ritchie Eye Clinic and LASIK Center, Faribault. World-class LASIK, small-town traffic. RitchieEyeClinic.com.
Northfield is a unique town with passionate people. So much passion that it can be hard to keep up. That's why, if you're into art, local politics, sports, or anything else, Northfield Public Broadcasting is here to serve you. NPB is a free public access local television station that accepts submissions on anything you care about. NPB is a place to hear community voices and to share your own voice. Check it out.
This is Barb from Professional Dental Group, letting you know that the doctors and staff of Professional Dental Group are proud to call themselves Northfield Raiders sports fans. Whether scheduling for an implant, mouthguard, or general visit, we look forward to providing you with the same exceptional care that Professional Dental Group has delivered for over 45 years. So on behalf of Dr. Becky Johnson, Dr. John Nowak, Dr. Brian Cravey, Dr. Tyler Yonke, and Dr. Mallory Peterson, go Raiders!
Northfield Insurance offers more than just home and auto. They offer business insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and bonds as well. They have a combined 147 years of experience across 6 employees to make sure that you are getting the best possible insurance for your exact needs. Not only will they protect what's yours, they'll make sure that you're cared for like family. Find out how you can get the right insurance for you at nfldins.com or by calling 507-645-8861. Northfield Insurance Agency. They've got you covered.
What if you could choose to make a positive difference in the lives of others just by where you choose to bank? When you bank with Hometown Credit Union, you are participating in a not-for-profit cooperative. We proudly reinvest into our communities through free financial education to people of all ages. We believe people can make better money decisions when equipped with the financial knowledge they need. Learn more about how you can join Hometown to make a difference and support our financial education outreach at www.hometowncu.coop.
To put posts in them right away, and it's like, right. And then it's just not cheap, and your dental coverage is only good for it.
Located in downtown Northfield, Champion Sports has everything you need to fill out your Christmas list. With Raiders, St. Olaf, and Carlton merch, including hats and hoodies, Champion's got you covered. Champion Sports has everything you need for the winter sports season, offering skates, skate sharpening, and official CCM equipment. When you're off the ice, Champion Sports has incredible shoe brands like Brooks and Adidas for when you're on your feet. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram to know when the latest seasonal gear is in stock at Champion Sports Northfield. Enjoy the holidays and gear up like a champion at Champion Sports.
Northfield is a unique town with passionate people. So much passion that it can be hard to keep up. That's why, if you're into art, local politics, sports, or anything else, Northfield Public Broadcasting is here to serve you. NPB is a free public access local television station that accepts submissions on anything you care about. NPB is a place to hear community voices and to share your own voice. Check it out.
The graphic mailbox in the River Park Mall. With all of your mailing and printing needs, we can pack it up, ship it out, and get it down the road. Fabricate a sign or a banner. We work hard to know our products. We can find what works for you and set you up with everything you need. The graphic mailbox in the River Park Mall, offering solutions for you.
At Community Resource Bank, you can bank from anywhere, anytime you want. The CRB mobile banking app makes it easy to keep track of your balances, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, and deposit checks any time of day or night. With branches in Northfield, Cannon Falls, and Roseville, we can offer solutions for businesses, residential, and investment accounts. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back to the St. Olaf Ice Arena here on a Saturday afternoon matinee game. The Northfield Raiders taking on the Tigers of Albert Lee. We are just about ready to get started with the third period here as the Raiders lead this contest 4-2 with two big power play goals coming in that second period. Third period about to get underway here. A little physicality towards the end of that second period there, Gordon. So the third period could be a lively one.
It could be. I think the key for the Northfield Raiders will be to avoid the penalty box. They've done a nice job of that, and they've taken advantage of opportunities from Albert Lee. I look for this first 5 minutes to sort of establish a tone here. Northfield, in open ice has been very effective. Albert Lee's been, grinded in a few goals with some crashing the net. I look for the Northfield Raiders to come out real strong here. I think their coaches probably talked to them, it's time for them to sort of seize control of this game here. So we'll see if they can do that.
We've seen a lot of time for that first line to spend a lot of time on the ice here so far this afternoon. And again, we're about ready to get going here for the St. Olaf Ice Arena as the Raiders on top 4-2, and we're ready to face off here in the third period. Skating from left to right are the Raiders in their white and maroon uniforms. Albert Lee in the royal blue and red, skating from right to left on your radio dial. Puck pushed up into the zone. Munson will keep it in from that left slot. There's a shot, misses wide of the net, and that one's going to come all the way to the top and all the way out of the zone before Ben Geiger picks that one up. Riley will forward it across the middle. Kaiser, there's a nice tape-to-tape pass. Drop pass to Munson. Now on the right side. Geiger with a shot to goal! And we are 32 seconds in, and we're on top 5-2.
Great shift by that first line, and you highlighted that incredible outlet pass from the defenseman to Kaiser that set that up. Hope he's recognized with an assist on that goal. Coming real early, first minute of play of the final period here, and showing, I think, what we talked about. That first line has been really dominant when they've been on the ice.
You must have looked into your crystal ball. You said they were going to come out hot, and they did, that's for sure.
They had a look. Yeah, Kaiser, you can see him
scoring
talking
for the
to his
Raiders at
line mates.
32 seconds of the third period. Number 11, Jacob Geiger. Assists with the number 20, Caden Monson. And number 12, Camden Kaiser.
So that front
Geiger
line
from Monson and Kaiser at your Raider goal.
Yeah, that front line continue to add to their point totals for the year. Down the right side goes Winter. He'll fire that across. Cashin will try to pick it up in behind the net. Now it's Winter, into the far boards. Cashin to the top of the circle. From that left circle, he'll hit a wrister right there. That was deflected. And in it goes. So there's a nice little wrist shot, and that didn't take very long either. That was at the 111 mark.
Yep, 2 shifts, 2 goals. We talked about that first 5 minutes. I think Northfield sent a message here in the first 2 minutes. Very nice goal by Will Cashin, I believe, is going to get that goal.
Yep, and there's another nice fire across the top. So now the Raiders, that's just
scoring
like that.
for the Raiders at 1:11 of the third period. Number 13, Will Cashin. The assist with the number 5, Ashton Pumper. Cashin from Pumper on your Raider goal.
Well, there you have it. Pumper with the assist. 15:33 to go here. And the Raiders jump out hard and fast here in the third period. They're now up. There's a centering pass right there. There's another shot across the bow. And that one is broken up and deflected there by Stadheim. Raiders really putting on some good power here. Ben Geiger to the near. Simon deflected out in front. Broken up on this little stick break up there. Now it's going to be Albert Lee chasing it. He's going to get taken right off the puck right there. Heavy check against the boards for the Raiders. Puck goes down in behind there. That's Adamson, and he tries to fight for it. There's 3 of the Raiders down there. The puck comes loose. Centering pass out front, and there is a whiff by there. There's a rebound shot right there. And now we got a little pushing and shoving here as they get after it here on center ice. That's number 8 right there. That's Mendez. Mendez not afraid to hit people.
No,
and,
he skated away and left his stick behind. He's trying to look innocent, but I don't think he was.
Not too much. But it does look like, there won't be any penalty on that play or anything cross-checking. Just a couple of guys getting heated up here in the third period. 14:51 to go, third period. Raiders on top, 6-2 from your Heritage Bank scoreboard. Puck comes down into the near boards for the Raiders. They'll try to send it all the way across. Another nice pass by Munson, but that one now he tries to bring the Pius back. But Geiger will pick it up, skate it all the way through down the right side. He's a fast one. And he comes around the corner there, and that one gets broken up by Persick. And then that one will come loose. And now it looks like we'll have a penalty on the play.
Yep, he's going to get him for a hook coming around the back wall there.
So that's number 11.
Yeah, that'd be number 11 for the Tigers. Arguing the call, that's Eli Ferris, but getting 2 minutes for a hook.
All right, so the Raiders will be in the power play again here. They're 2 for 3 from the power play this afternoon. Facing off deep in the Albert Lee zone. There's a shot. Geiger's deflected. That goes straight up in the air, and that one comes out of the rafters. And down back to the ice it comes, 14:24.
The third period. Number 11, Eli Ferris, 2 minutes for hooking.
So a minute 55 remaining in the penalty. Power play for the Raiders. First line out there again. Munson will come clean with it. Riley all the way on the far circle. Centering past to Kaiser. He gets pickpocketed right there. And down the left side they go. And that's Anfinson as he tries to push the puck up and through, but it's picked up by Geiger. In behind the net they go. They'll bring that puck all the way, drops it back. Riley will bring it up and through. Nice little pass up towards the front to Munson, and then broken up right out in front of the ice, and then that's released again by Albert Lee. Albert Lee will take it and send it all the way back, and the Raiders will regroup and start again with a minute 20 remaining in this power play. Raiders out shooting them 26-14 here in the contest tonight. Munson, nice pass, Kaiser, and a backhand, and he scores.
Beautiful.
Kaiser with a nice little move and a nice little backhand on the power play at the 4:21 mark.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Kaiser got the goalie to commit and then just tucked it in the other side at the 13:39 mark of the final period.
Well, there's your hat trick for Mr. Kaiser again. Hat trick for Cam Kaiser, and now he's up to his 13th goal of the season as they put the Raiders up 7-2 here in the third period. Face-off, center ice comes loose.
Scoring for the Raiders on the power play, number 12, Camden Kaiser. The assist went to number 20, Caden Monson. Goal at 3:21 on the power play. Kaiser from Monson.
Raiders in their own zone now as Albert Lee tries to push it up and through and get some momentum going here as the Raiders strike quick, hard, and fast here in the third period. 3 quick goals by the Northfield Raiders. And now Ben Geiger taking it down the right-hand side there. Centering pass out in front there. That one goes through the crease and that one disappears. 12:58 to go here. Third period. Geiger. Ben Geiger from that right circle. That one's in the glove of Stodheim, and we'll have a face-off to the left of the goal.
Camden Kaiser has the ability to make hard hockey plays look easy. He really does. He's you could sense that third period. That first line decided this game needs to be over, and they're going to send a message, and they certainly have.
12:53 remaining. Third period. Raiders on top, 7-2. Geiger tries to hold it in. Takes it down the right side to the top of the circle, now underneath. They come from the bottom up. The puck gets deflected into the air. Now it comes around in behind the net as Albert Lee tries to clear it up and out of their zone, and they do so. It's going to be a race down there as Olsen tries to get after it, and they'll have an icing call before he can get there. And we'll turn right back around and bring it back. So just a quick reminder of what's coming up on Northfield Live. Tuesday, December 12th. It'll be boys hockey again versus Monticello. And then the girls basketball team against Rochester Mail. That's all coming up on Tuesday night on NorthfieldLive.com. Face off into the deep end of Albert Lee, who comes in behind the net for the Tigers. Tigers try to clear it up and off, and that one gets just poked off the top of the stick at the top of the circle. Puck comes loose for a brief moment, and now it'll take off all the way down. Frank will push it up as the Raiders will try to control the puck in their own zone. Now they'll push it up a little bit in through neutral ice. There's a turnover in the defensive end down that left side. He's going to take a shot. That one's a pad out in front, and there's a rebound out there. Opportunity for Albert Lee, and again a defensive turnover for the Raiders. Cashin down the right side. He'll come all the way in behind the net. He's hard charging. Now into the corner they go. Raiders trying to get something going down there. There's a shot, a whiff, an opportunity out in front, but they couldn't get a stick on it. Now the puck comes in behind the net, and we'll have a stoppage of play. And we got players down on the ice in behind the net there.
Referees called a hooking penalty on somebody. Albert Lee Tiger player saying, "Who, me?" Now it's Mr. 18. Derek Late going for a hook right in front of the Albert Lee goal at the 11:43 mark of the third period.
All right, well, the Raiders again in another power play. They've had a couple opportunities today to score on the power play there, especially in the second period. Pretty much every goal they've gotten here in the third period has been evenly matched. So now Matt Erickson, the head coach of Albert Lee, is having a discussion with the referee, trying to get some sort of a definition of possibly what happened there and why they called the call they did. And he doesn't like it. He's not really happy with the call, but
he is demonstrably unhappy. Has been for a number of minutes here. I don't think it's going to change anything.
11:43, face-off in
minor
the
penalty on
Albert Lee.
Of 5:17 of the third period. Number 18, Derek Lighty.
All righty, so we'll be at the power play strength here as the Albert Lee Tigers will clear this one up and out, and that one goes all the way back into the Northfield zone. So they've got 1:40 on the power play here, and let's see what they do in their fourth attempt. Munson across the middle. There's a shot across the board. Kaiser right out in front in the crease. Nothing there. Puck comes loose as Munson on the top of the circle now. He'll look to skate down and in. He'll take that shot. That one will get deflected all the way off the boards. Comes all the way cleared out into the near corner. Puck will come over to the top of Riley. Far boards. Down underneath. Raiders continue to work the power play as they dump it in behind. Munson trying to chase it down. That puck will come loose, and that one gets deflected out into the crowd, so we're going to have a stoppage of play and another face-off.
Yeah, 10:43 left in the third period. Northfield on the power play for another minute and 1 second. The coach is putting his second-line power play players out there.
Give these boys a chance to maybe put something in the back of the net tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the top, Geiger pushes it down underneath. Far boards. Raiders controlling at the top, to the point, to the right. Now he's going to fire it all the way back to that left circle down underneath, but it'll come back to the top. Then Geiger from the top, looking for a shot across the middle. Tries to get a stick on it as Winner, but that one just gets deflected to the far boards. Picked up at the top. Across the middle, looking for a shot. There's a shot on goal. Nice save by Stadheim. That one comes loose as Albert Lee will fire that one all the way back down. 25 seconds remaining here in the power play for the Raiders with just 10:04 to go here in the third period from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. And they'll call icing on that one. 9:57, stoppage of play. We'll bring it back the other direction, and we'll face off to the right of Max Frank. And the right side of the goal is deep in Northfield end.
It was a nice save by Stadheim down there. The second-line power play set up a point-blank shot that he kicked out. Give the kid credit. He's seen a number of shots today. It's 29 so far.
And that puck will come clean as Albert Lee will control the face-off. It's going to be picked up by Pumper in his own zone. Loses it off the stick briefly, and he'll send it over to the near boards here to Geiger. He'll skate it through, neutralize, and he'll dump it down. And down on the ground they go, and we're back at full strength. So Albert Lee back at full strength here, and they're going to come racing down that right side. Cuts across the middle there. There's a pass to the left slot. Shot. Good save by Frank with a pad save, and that one goes in behind the net. Now picked up by Pumper. They'll turn it back the other direction. Trying to skate fast, getting in behind the zone. Down in the corner it goes. Benjamin getting after it. He gets crushed into the boards. Now into the near boards. Raiders with a little bit of comeback from Winter there. Albert Lee will try to clear as they skate right in front of the crease, right out in front, and down the right side they'll go. Tries to dump it in. Brua, little ride there, ran with a little ride. That one pops right out in front of the net, and then the Raiders will try to just kind of stand and kind of get it cleared out of there for a second. I didn't think they knew that it was even standing out in front of the crease.
I don't think he did. I do not think the goalie saw that until it suddenly was there.
So Albert Lee in their own zone trying to clear as the Raiders try to keep it in, and they do. That far circle, now ran from the right. He'll take a slot, and there's a shot. And that one goes up off the stick and up off the glass and into the net, and so we'll have another stoppage of play. So another scoring opportunity right out in front, but just a little outside.
Nice stick save by Stadheim there. Ran at a good look at it, and Stadheim got the stick on it, blocking it into the netting behind the goal.
8:33 remaining. Raiders on top, 7-2 from your Heritage Bank scoreboard as the Albert Lee, controlling the puck in their own zone, tries to clear it and does so. And they'll fire it all the way down, and unfortunately they're going to bring it right back down, and they'll face off just to the left of the goalie Stadheim for the Tigers. So the Raiders on top, 7-2. Been a little bit physical here in the afternoon. A couple of penalties against Albert Lee here in the second period, but the Raiders not able to capitalize on those power plays, but they've capitalized in other ways. And, of course, getting things started right at the 32-second mark as Kaiser got his hat trick and got the 5th goal of the night. So the puck controlled by Albert Lee in their own zone. Raiders trying to keep it in. Now to go down to that circle down in the far right. Canelli tries to poke it out front, and they try to take him hard into the boards. Puck stays in for Northfield. Rand will try to keep it in, and now to go down into the near corner. As they fight for it down there is Whiteman. He tries to come loose with it now, back to the top of the circle, down to the far side. There's a shot towards, that's broken up pretty quick and easily there by Lady, and that one goes into the neutral zone. Raiders try to clear it and push it back into the zone. That one's deflected, and it comes all the way back, all the way to the far boards now, off the stick of the Raiders. As Albert Lee tries to hold the puck in and get something offensively going here, as the Raiders definitely outshooting and outscoring Albert Lee. Going into the back is Brua. He'll pick it up. Raiders will have a full line change, and now we have a stoppage of play here.
Looks to me, Jimmy, that the Northfield coaches are keeping that first line off the ice a little bit here, like giving some other kids a chance to play, which is probably smart. Entering a little bit of a garbage time situation, you don't want to see somebody get hurt.
I do know that against Austin, they had an opportunity to get some of the younger players in there and get them some extra ice time, and I know Mike talked about that in the pregame and how important that can be.
Yes.
Especially when you look down the road and you start getting into section play and conference play and maybe even, tournament play, that, having the experience of having people on the ice, how beneficial that can be. So this puck will go all the way down, centering puck out in front. Max Frank got it caught in his pad, and he'll stop that one, and we'll have a stoppage to play with 6:54 to go here in the third period. From your Heritage Bank scoreboard, your Northfield Raiders currently on top, 7-2 here at the St. Olaf Ice Arena.
And the first line hops off the bench on there. I think the coach maybe wants to get that puck out of the zone.
Definitely, without a doubt. Face off to the left of Frank. First liners, Kaiser. Little forecheck there by Brua, but not much brewing for Brua, as now it'll be Geiger down the right side. He'll take it all the way down into the corner. That one will come loose. Albert Lee, we've got a penalty on the play out in front here. Looks like we got a slashing call again, and that one's going to be against number 18 again. He's not happy.
No, and he's talking back to the official, too. He better be careful. He's going to... No, he came out of the box and went back in. Coach is asking for an explanation. The referee does not look amused.
So we got another penalty on the Albert Lee here at the 6:39 mark remaining in the third period, so it'll be a 2-minute penalty.
You got a major penalty that's been called, Jimmy.
Oh, they upped it.
Yes.
Slashing?
That's my thought. Now, let's see if that was something to do with how they call that. We'll listen to the scorer's table here in a second. face off in the north.
5-minute major penalty on Albert Lee at 10:21. Number 18, Derek Leidy.
Geiger with a shot from the right slot, and that one is a good save there by Stodheim. So the major, 5-minute major, is going to go against Derek Leidy. And this will pretty much wrap up the third period of the power play for the Raiders.
Pretty much. I didn't hear exactly what the penalty was, though, other than it was a major slash. I thought it was a slash that he signaled.
Puck skates in, Munson across the crease in front of it. That one's broken up by Stodheim. They'll send that one all the way down to the other end of the ice. 6:17 to go, third period. Raiders on top, 7-2. 4:34 remaining in the major penalty against Albert Lee as the Raiders are in a power play mode. Munson tries to skate it up and through, and that one gets deflected and broken up by the defense shot. Kaiser across the middle, and it's right out in front, and just Munson misses an opportunity right there. He was standing right on the corner, and puck got in behind his skate, and he lost control of it. Puck comes out into the neutral zone. Raiders try to push it up and forward. There's another turnover right there by Brua. He'll try to clear it. Can't do anything with that. Persick in hot pursuit. Raiders trying to push it into the Albert Lee zone and do so. Now they'll try to clear it. 5:35 to go. Geiger skates it up and through the blue line, and he'll push it all the way back down and into the corner. To the far corner it goes. Picked up there by Cashin. Now to the top it comes. Geiger back down to Cashin on the top of the left circle. He'll skate it down. Kaiser centering pass out front. The puck comes loose. Ben Geiger with an opportunity. Can't complete that shot there, and that one will come back out to the point. The other Geiger, here's a shot. That one's off the pad. Stayed by Stadheim, and that one will go out. Now Munson will take him into the ice, and we're going to probably have a penalty for boarding here in the third period.
We absolutely are going to have a penalty. It looks like an interference is being called on Caden Munson for Northfield.
So Munson, typically physical all the time, but that time a little bit too physical maybe. So at the 12:03 mark, he's going to go in there for interference. So we're going to face off to the right of Max Prank. Max doing a nice job in the net. Gave up just a couple. He's saved 17 shots so far tonight. So the Raiders again out shooting them 33-19. Definitely in the favor of the Northfield Raiders. And the score is inclusive of what that's meant so far here today.
Minor penalty on the Raiders at 12:03 in the third period. Number 20, Caden Monson, 2 minutes for interference.
All right, so we're going to be 4-on-4 for the next couple of minutes here for the Raiders and Albert Lee. That puck will come loose, and they'll skate it in behind. Winter with a shot coming off his stick there, and that one goes all the way over to the far corner over there as the Raiders try to skate it up and through and out. Stewart tries to control it. Back up to the top there to Riley at the top. Now Pumper tries to take it down underneath the circle and into the corner, and they lose control of it. The Raiders temporarily, like I said, 4-on-4 here as both teams have a penalty player in the box. 4:12 remaining, 1:14 to go here in the even matchup here for the Raiders and the Tigers. Picked up by the Raiders. They'll do a quick little line change there, or line update anyhow, and they'll try to clear it up through the zone. Intercepted by Albert Lee in their own zone. Now they'll skate backwards and then regroup and push the puck forward, and down that left-hand side, there goes Persick. Persick on the break. Well defended in the corner. Puck comes loose. Raiders. Pumper tries to clear it up and out of there. It's picked up and pushed back in by Ferris until it's finally fired away, and it looks like briefly there, I think Pumper took a shot across the wrist or something like that. He's kind of coming up a little bit lame there with 3:34 to go. So he's coming off the ice. Something happened there on that last play with Pumper.
Yeah, he's going back to the dressing room with the trainer, it looks like. Hope he's okay. He's played a nice game at defense.
3:34 to go. 37 seconds, and they're in a 7-2. It looks like they're in a full countdown at this point. So it is in the third period that they've decided to go to a running clock here. Oh, there's a shot across the front. Persig with a shot. There's a shot and just misses the goal. And you can just see Ben Geiger. He flipped his head there. Okay, it's mano a mano. In behind he comes. There's a shot and he scores. Ferris on the breakaway, and he'll score at the 13:50 mark.
Yeah, it's an even strength goal. Very nice play by Albert Lee. The defense from Northfield kind of fell asleep, and Ferris, probably one of their better players, got behind, and Frank really didn't have much of a chance there. Breakaway.
So again, you look at that, and you just all you got to do is close your eyes for a second, or take your eyes off the puck. Yep. Everything changes.
Yeah, things got a little sloppy there. It's 4-on-4 hockey, which is wide open.
And it looks like we will continue with 4-on-4 hockey for the next 14 seconds, and then the Raiders will be back at a power play face-off.
Scoring for the Tigers,
the Raiders down, Geiger down the left side.
Third period, number 11,
in the far corner.
Eli Ferris assists with the number 2, Chet Hansen.
They'll come down that left-hand side. There's another shot towards the goal. Frank.
Raiders full strength.
There as the puck goes in behind. Raiders at full strength. They should be at the power play advantage here, as it is Stay who continues to hold off. And there's a shot, and that one's just to the left. An opportunity there by Mendez with a shot, but no good. Far to the left of the goal it comes. We've got 59 seconds remaining in the power play for the Northfield Raiders, as Munson down that right side as that top line back out on the ice again. Riley with the dump. There's a pass right up front, and Kaiser tries to lift it up and over the top for his 4th goal of the night. It looks like the net will come off, and we'll have a stoppage of play with 2:23 to go here in the third period.
Yeah, some wide open hockey here. I think the Auburn League crowd wanted a call, and they didn't get. Cam Kaiser had a great shot, chance for his 4th goal there. The puck just went over the net. 2:23 left with 44 seconds left on the penalty. The major penalty that the number 18 for Albert Lee was called for, that we're still not 100% sure what it was for.
Initially, I thought the call was slashing initially, and then boom. Face off in the Albert Lee end. The Raiders will come away with it. Kaiser pushes it down to Munson. Munson across the middle, rebound out in front. Saved by Stotheim, and we have a stoppage of play as that puck comes loose.
Puck is in the net behind the blue paint, but the referee blew the whistle, so no goal. And looks like there's a penalty being called, and some conversation going on.
Kaiser's hacking it up.
Yeah.
Crowd's loving it here.
Yeah, Kaiser was having a fairly intense discussion with number 9 from Albert Lee, Connor Persig, and Cam's going to go to the box for 2 minutes.
There in the replay here, you can see he's just talking right there, or maybe we didn't have him on that. But yeah, as we said, 2 minutes here for Kaiser. That's going to be pretty much the game. 14 seconds difference on that.
4-on-4 with 36 seconds left in the opposing minor, the major for Albert Lee. So we'll be on 4-on-4 for another 33 seconds here as Kaiser goes to the box. Chirping a little bit out there in front to the players back and forth. So that was
minor penalty on the Raiders, 14:46. Number 12, Camden Kaiser, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Another penalty getting called.
Yeah, another one coming this way.
Yeah, it's another. It's against number 2, I believe.
That's Ben Geiger.
Yeah, for the Northfield. So we're going to have a scenario here in 29 seconds where Northfield's going to be down 2 players. This is getting a little sloppy here at the end of the game. Some tempers.
Minor penalty on the Raiders at 14:53. Number 2, Ben Geiger, 2 minutes for hooking.
Obviously, it's nice to see them not taking the foot off the gas pedal here, even though they're winning by a considerable margin, but you got to think you might want to slow it down here a little bit.
Absolutely. 25 seconds remaining in the major from Albert Lee, so they'll be back at full strength here in just a second. It's going to be 4-on-3 here for the next 15 seconds or so. There's a shot across the top, no good. Max Frank gets his glove save and then drops it out in the ice and then rethinks his thinking and then covers up for a face-off.
Kind of a quick whistle there, I think. That puck was not under control, but the Northfield will take it. So 9 seconds left in the major penalty, and then it's going to be interesting. Good to see Pumper back out on the ice there. He had gone down to the dressing room for a while.
He is back on the ice indeed, so they'll clear that one out with 1:44 remaining in the contest. Raiders on top of this, 7-3. There's a wraparound there by Geiger, and that one is now in behind him as he tries to control the puck to keep it down. Albert Lee in full strength. Now they're down 5-3. This is going to probably take them all the way down into the final seconds of this third period as the puck comes out and into the bench. So this one's definitely, it's going to be 5-on-3 for at least the next minute and 12 seconds with 1:26 remaining in the contest. That puck will face off in neutral ice on the far circle, and we are at 7-3 in favor of the Northfield Raiders. And there's a quick release there as they take control of the puck. As Persick, he goes in the corner. Now he takes him down, and he rhino rams him into the ground.
Yeah, that was
that's going to be a wrestling move for sure.
That was a 2-point takedown there. Full body grab. Kind of a senseless penalty, really, frankly. You'd never want to take a penalty in your offensive zone when you've got a two-man power play coming up. But it happened. Mr. Persig.
And it's crazy. You have a chance to be up 5-3, a 5-3 power play, and you do something like that. You take your guy down like that, and now you put yourself at the mercy again on 4-on-4 and actually 4-on-3, but still. Kind of a mental error there by Persick, I believe.
Yeah, and he's yelling at Kaiser, I think, down in the penalty box. They might want to tell him to keep his mouth shut, frankly.
Yeah, we're picking head up here.
Sounds like they're going back and forth there a little bit. And Cam Kaiser not afraid to chirp.
No,
he's not
never
afraid.
has.
He's not afraid to mix things up either. So we've got 1 minute remaining here in the third period. Raiders fires it. No, that one goes in behind the crowd and almost clips one of the fans right there. And we will have a stoppage of play. So we'll bring it back.
This will be an interesting handshake line at the end of the game.
I think so.
Refs might want to stay out on the ice, as they always do.
Yes, it's really, as Mike Luckcraft talked about, Albert Lee in Northfield, as through the years have gone, it's starting to build a little bit of a...
Albert Lee plays a hard game. They always have, and they're not giving up.
That puck is held in there. There's a shot by Mendez, and that one's broken up. Nice defensive play there. Now we're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct here.
Ooh. Very slow end to this game.
Yeah, the referee is really frustrated right now.
So at the 16:03 mark now, Mendez, but I think he's getting unsportsmanlike conduct. As well.
I thought the puck was played with a high stick. I thought that was what the call was, but something happened behind the play.
Refs do not look happy here.
No, absolutely not.
Do not blame them one bit.
They're trying to keep this game in check, that's for sure. We got 53 seconds left. We don't need somebody taking a stick across the head or anything like that.
Minor penalty and Albert lead 16:07. Number 8, Dominic Mendez, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Indeed it was. So we'll skate down the right-hand side there as the Raiders will be in hot pursuit. Stam Stay will take it up against the board, and Riley will push him into the boards. Picked up by the Raiders in the near side. There's another check to the ground. Munson taken down as well. Still being physical out in front. Albert Lee not carrying one bit.
3-on-3 hockey.
Yes, and down the right-hand side comes Munson. Skies right through the crease and loses control as they go scooting through there. 17 seconds to go. Munson drops it all the way back to Riley at the top of the left circle. He'll skate it down into the corner. Picked up by Albert Lee. Bria tries to clear it. Can't. There's a centering pass right there. He shoots it. Over the top it goes as Kaiser comes flying on the ice and tries to get an opportunity for a goal. And they'll have a stoppage of play here. We'll have one more face-off with 5.5 seconds to go here in the third period.
Raiders at full strength. Albert Lee still down 2.
Yeah, time to wrap this one up and get back to
just sit on this one.
So it looks like they've sent Kaiser to the bench.
Wisely.
5 seconds left. We don't need any goofiness going on out here. And there is a tripping call there that we will not call. And there's a shot up over the top of the goalie of Stodheim, and into the glass it goes. That's a wrap here on this afternoon's contest. Raiders win against Albert Lee 7-3 against your Heritage Bank scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll recap. You're listening to Raider Hockey at 95.1 The One. KYMN, and streaming live on NorthfieldLive.com.
Carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained? Call the professionals at Service Master by Ayat. Service Master has been an industry leader for more than 20 years and have proven cleaning products to remove even the toughest stains and get the winter weather out of your carpets and floors. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. When you're in need of cleaning, demand the yellow van and call Service Master by Ayat today.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
We're back.
There's 8. There's Mendez right there.
Yeah. We're back here for our post-game recap, brought to us by Service Master. When disaster strikes, demand the yellow van. Great game here for the Northfield Raiders, taking home a 7-3 lead, or taking home a 7-3 win over Albert Lee Tigers here from the beautiful St. Olaf Ice Arena. Absolutely great game. Jimmy, you got some stuff to break down for us here?
I don't know what happened. I think the game, just so much excitement. A lot of stuff to talk about here. That third period was scrappy.
It got
no doubt
interesting.
about it. Oh, my goodness. There was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 penalties against 5 penalties, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct. We had a couple of penalties here, but Albert Lee in that third period with 5 penalties. 1 is an unsportsmanlike conduct, and they still shot 9 shots on goal to Northfield's 13 there in the third period. But it was Kaiser rather. That was able to put that top goal in there, and so Kaiser with his hat trick at the 1:11 mark put him up 6-2, and then it was like 7-2, and then finally Albert Lee rather, they came back there in the third period, and it looked like they were trying to do their best to make a game of it, but then that last 5 minutes was just nothing but chaos.
Yeah, that was chaos. That was kind of ugly, frankly. A little garbage time there. Albert Lee got their third goal with that behind the team breakaway. Albert Lee is a team that's got some talent. They've got some physicality. Their goaltender actually played pretty well despite the score. I think, from a skills level standpoint, I think Northfield really did dominate a lot of the open ice play, but it was a competitive game, notwithstanding the 7-3 score. Shots 36-24. Things got a little, pear-shaped in that third period. I'm sure that both coaches are probably grateful that the game just kind of finally came to an end.
Well, you can tell Stadheim right there. I don't know if you guys can see him as he's skating off the ice here. If you're on NorthfieldLive.com, you can see he wasn't happy there. He had Persig was sitting out in center ice here, and after their team had their little break there, post-game break there on the center ice, Stadheim just kind of kneeled down on the ice right there, and he was just shaking his head like, man, I could have done better or something.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a competitive game. Anyone that's played hockey knows it. It's emotions get intense, and there was certainly some of that. But for purposes of a Big Nine play, this does give Northfield, a continuation of their good start to the season so far, undefeated in Big Nine play, and going into the holiday break coming up here on a bit of a nice rebound. They lost to Orono. I think both teams are still ranked in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, in Class A. And Northfield shows that it's staking its claim to the best team in Section 1 and one of the best teams in the Big Nine Conference.
Well, let us recap our scoring here this afternoon. Scoring at the 27-second mark, it was Cam Kaiser that put the Northfield Raiders up 1-0. And a couple minutes later, Christian Whiteman with a nice rebound out front at the 4:37 mark put the Raiders up 2-0. And then it was late in that first period. Jacob Kolker caught a pass in behind the net there, and it was 13-27 on a rebound out there, and it ended the first period 2-1. Coming into the second period at the 4:50 mark right away to get things started was Caden Munson as they put him up 3-1 at that point. And then it was at the 10:45 mark, it was Derek Lady from Albert Lee who put a goal past our Max Frank, and then they, of course, it was 4-2 or 3-2 at that point, but it didn't take long. A minute later, who else? Cam Kaiser with a power play goal put him up 4-2. And then in the third period, right off the get-go, Jake Geiger breaks hard down the right slot, and he chases one past Stadheim, puts him up there 5-2. And it wasn't even a minute later. And number 13, Will Cashin at the 1:11 mark, put him up 6-2. 7-2. And again, boom, here we go again. 4:21. Cam Kaiser with the hat trick, and he goes in and he scores, and they're up 7-2. And then everything kind of broke loose. And then it was just craziness, and it was penalty after penalty after penalty. But finally, again, they were able to sneak in behind them, and it was Eli Ferris for Albert Lee who put the third goal at the 13:50 late in the third period. Little too late. Raiders win.
Yeah, if I'm looking at this from the Northfield coaching staff standpoint, I mean, obviously the first line of Northfield can skate with anybody in the state. The key for Northfield is going to be developing that defense. I think that I like the offensive work that the defensemen did. There were a few breakdowns on the defensive side of things that ended up giving Albert Lee the opportunity to score a few goals. So I think particularly with Ty Frank still out for a while, that younger defensive core is going to, they're learning. But Cooper Rand tonight, I thought, really did a nice job. Pumper played well, particularly on the offensive side of things. Sometimes those D-men don't get the credit they deserve, but it's a team game, and as the season goes on, that blue line core is going to, I think, have a lot to say about how far the Raiders end up going.
Post-game cleanup brought to you by ServiceMaster by Hyatt. When disaster strikes, demand the yellow van. From your Heritage Bank scoreboard, the Raiders win this one this evening or this afternoon from the St. Olaf Ice Arena, 7-2. Coming up for Northfield Live on Tuesday, you can get both the boys hockey team versus Monticello and the girls basketball team versus Rochester. So again, a victory for the Northfield Raiders, 7-3 here for the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Monticello is up next, and then it'll be Spring Lake Park coming up on Friday, December 15th for your Northfield Raiders. On behalf of course, Gordon Moore, we want to thank our boy Joey Hudson over here, Mr. Vato, and Lance Reister on the camera here this afternoon. So thank all those guys for being with us, and thank you so much to all of our sponsors for helping us bring you this afternoon's broadcast. We want to thank you again for joining us from the St. Olaf Ice Arena. Stick a fork in this. I think we're done. You're listening to Raider Hockey on KYMN 95.1 The One in the AM 1080. Streaming live on NorthfieldLive.com.